and ice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Crash and Burn. It's been 4 weeks since we did an actual show on the hangouts here. So welcome back, everyone. Last time you guys heard from us, we did a first late Facebook Live event. We all got a chance to do, and overall, I think it was pretty cool. It's hard to position your phone, and if anyone out there knows a way that we can use the webcam and do live streaming, that'd be cool. Or else I'll just have to Google it. But for now, we can just use one of the phones or something like that. So again, tonight's Thursday. It's August 4th, and it's the first Thursday in the month. So hope you're joining us here for Crash and Burn. If you are listening, no matter how you got here, thank you, and head over to gunchannels.com/crash and burn and join us in the fun over there. Most of our questions and our comments come right from there. Just like a real radio show, except for not. And we don't have a phone line yet. Maybe we will. We had one set up the first time I ran a radio show. We did a Skype line, which was pretty cool. It's a little more in depth to screen the calls and everything. So, but it's doable. I'm not saying we won't do it. So, let me introduce my usual crew of suspects. If you're new here, I'm Mike, and I'm your host. And with me here next to me is Erica.
Hey.
And we have Glenn and Leah with us as well. And we're usual suspects.
And we're what?
We're the usual suspects.
Oh. What are we suspected of?
It sounded like you said rednecks.
Yeah.
No, we're definitely not that. We're some sort of mixed up group of semi-hipsters. That would be the best determination. Anyway, so yeah, last week's, not last week. So just so everybody's kind of following along with us, we're sporadic throughout the summer. We have a lot of things to do. Glenn and I have been super busy at the new shop, so we've been basically doing every other week.
When are we going to go back on regular?
Probably regular? Not till at least our kids are in school, and so everything just kind of maybe will mellow out as we get into the fall. We'll see. We'll see how things go. It's really just I think Glenn and I are just, I don't mean to speak for Glenn, but I think we're really just getting used to the 11 to 8 work day week. And by Thursday, we're going full steam. So we're pretty involved in everything. And so it can get pretty hectic. Doing it every other week takes a little bit off of preparing every week. So
crazy at the shop too. So.
Yeah, and I think we will go back to weekly, or we'll stick to biweekly, and maybe we will. I like the idea of the live cast. We did it from the shop, answer questions and stuff like that. So that was a good time. So I want to talk a little about a few different things. I kind of thought of these on my way home, and I'm just gonna pose them to the rest of the four of you before we get into the shop. So I was thinking that one, we should put it out there that we may look for a fifth.
I welcome everybody into the group.
Clearly. I don't mean maybe part of the main crew yet, but maybe we have an off and on fifth.
You have to go through a test to be our friend.
Oh yeah, you know, and
What if they don't live here?
they don't have to live here.
But then how are they going to do fun stuff with us?
Well, that's the thing is like if they're going to be an off and on part of the actual show, then they have to realize they're going to miss out on some of the live stuff we do, and maybe they'll only see us at certain larger events. And so if you're interested, contact myself or one of the rest of the crew and let us know, and I'll have you fill out this really sweet job application I downloaded from the Subway website.
I was going to say, was it the Subway one?
Yeah, I use that for everything.
Why do you want, like,
I don't know.
am I not entertaining?
No, I don't know if it's the fact that having an on and off fifth would be cool. I want to grow the show.
Okay.
I want some more opinions. I mean, the four of us literally hang out weekly, whether we do the show or not.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to have maybe another opinion, maybe another couple. You know what I mean? Wouldn't be a bad idea to get them involved. That way, if it's another couple,
That works.
we won't feel left out if they're not close. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Or something like that. So it's just an idea.
Okay.
Maybe some with some cool personalities, something like that. So it's just a thought. My second thought was putting this out there. The four of us are going to Philadelphia
Only if I plan it.
at the end of August,
I've been looking too, kind of.
at the end of this month. And basically what I thought was I want to invite anybody that's down with us or listens to the show to come to Philadelphia.
Come to Pittsburgh.
Come to Pittsburgh.
Please go to
We
Pittsburgh.
will live chat from Philadelphia to you in Pittsburgh.
Get yourself your own hotel room, and basically our plans is to get drunk and visit all the monuments and film ourselves doing that. Kind of like Drunk History, but for Crash and Burn.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good time. Plus, we can visit cool stuff. So
I'm gonna lick
if you're out there, pass the word. If you're interested in coming to hang out, even if for one night out of that weekend, that's cool with me. So just a thought. I know it seemed like you had a rough day. I came home, you were sleeping.
No, it wasn't awful. It's just like you. I've been going full steam with.
I almost feel like you have more different things you're doing
Yeah.
now than I do, whereas like
Yours is concentrated
I
and
got
it
the
just
two
doesn't
things.
stop.
right.
I'm literally with like the kids out of school. I cannot wait till they go back. Alex to camp in the morning, pick Alex up. Then I bring them back here. In between that time, I'm working on probably Cryobank Israel first. Then I switch hats and I do Stick No Evil stuff. Pick Alex up, bring the kids back here, feed them lunch, break up fights, make sure they're entertained, back down the stairs, then work on some more Stick No Evil stuff. I had to go to a carnival today. It was Old Nani's Carnival. So it was a bunch of old people. With actually the food was pretty good. And it wasn't a bad event. They had like all different kinds of stuff. But in between that, I mean, Alex is if he could get any closer, he would be up my butt. Literally,
We call him Oedipus for a reason.
I
Yeah.
love him, but he just
He really loves you.
he really loves me. Yeah. So we went and we played like all the games they had there and everything like that. And it is hot as shit out. It's
It
just
is. It
so
was-
freaking hot.
I know, Glenn, you had said you were going to come back and do plugs, and I was like, he's going to sweat his ass off if he goes and does those.
I kind of got happy that customers came in, and I got tied up with that because I didn't have to go do that. Same
Yeah.
with the shop.
Tomorrow's not going to be any better, right? Tomorrow's
No,
going to be
tomorrow's gonna be
hotter.
hotter. Tomorrow's gonna be hotter.
Supposed
So
to be
that sucks.
decent this weekend.
It's supposed to cool back down.
Yeah, I think when I was watching the news last night, they said that Thursday, Friday, bad, weekend better.
Wait,
guys?
better like 89, not 98.
I think it was like low 80s, but
Oh,
the humidity was going to drop.
None of us can wear a wedding dress tomorrow.
It actually does. It drops over 10 degrees for Saturday.
Oh, good. We have a wedding Saturday.
So,
They have wedding.
I have a wedding tomorrow.
what time's this wedding we have to go to?
I don't know.
Okay. Am I going to work first?
I'm assuming for some of it.
Yeah. All right. So, Glenn, I guess Saturday, since it'll be cooler, do them while I'm there, and then I got to leave, I guess.
Yeah.
Wedding.
I asked you if you didn't have to go.
I can't let you go by yourself. I mean, you could take Leah.
I have to work at the bridal shower.
I can
My
always
life is consumed with weddings all of a sudden.
find another date. I mean,
Wow.
I bet Alex would go.
go with me.
She totally would.
Anyway, it's been a crazy week.
It has.
This whole Cryobank Israel stuff is just, it's overwhelming. You got the email from Yair?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So, well, we got a full crew in Gun Channels tonight. Like I said, join us on gunchannels.com/crash and burn. We got a ton of familiar faces and some new faces as well. Shout out to our Arizona friends, Eric and Jess from Fox Den Tactical, and Ryan from Three Gun Stuff. Ryan. We got a lot of people, so join us over on there. And I don't know, anything else you guys want to talk about? Any stuff you want to air? Anything?
Wait, can
Oh my god! I actually what?
Gear for tonight.
Can I show you guys Glenn's mouse pad?
And gear for tonight.
Yes.
Oh wait, if it's his gear for the night, save it.
Wait, I can't see it.
It's the world's biggest fucking book.
Screw you all.
Anyways,
FedEx, yeah.
fucking FedEx, and I made it.
We don't use it at the shop.
Yeah, I
No one uses it.
this is total like my life has been full of FedEx fuck ups.
I hate FedEx.
It literally
They can
should be
rot
called
in hell.
fuck ups because 3 full days in a row they attempted to deliver something. Monday, we're closed, obviously.
Mhm.
Tuesday they came too early and they said that we were closed.
And it didn't come.
Yeah, Wednesday they came yesterday, and it was COD, but it's had to be cashier's check.
Which no one told us.
So I got up this morning, got the cashier's check, and got there, and it said out for delivery at 8 in the morning. Didn't come out at all today.
Shut up.
No, and if you look at our notes for what Mike's fucking guns and gear is, it just says, Mike, my fucking suppressor is not here.
Well, see, just saying that didn't come doesn't really tell the full story.
No.
Because you called what, 5:30?
Yep. I called one. No, I called once probably right around 5:30.
So he called, and the little Indian guy doesn't say anything but, hey, what's your shop phone number? And I realized this on the way home, Mike. He also asked for your cell phone number.
He did?
Yeah. You gave him his shop number and your cell phone number.
No, I didn't give him my cell number.
He asked for a second phone number.
Oh.
Give me your cell number.
Whatever. But he took 2 phone numbers and said, they'll call you back. They'll get it. They'll figure it out. They'll get it to you today.
Oh, it's over here.
So nobody calls us for probably till about 7 o'clock when you called back again, because we closed at 8. So Mike's like,
yeah.
Oh, Mike, like, call.
Yeah, I'm like, you got 50 minutes to get your ass here with my suppressor.
And the guy goes, oh, well, we have notes here that says they tried to call and they didn't know which extension to use. So they just hung up.
Shut up.
It says press 1 for sales, press 0 for the operator.
Or just fucking press
and
the number
it's
after Mike.
also set to, if you don't press anything, it rings all the phones.
Yeah. So they just like immediately hung up and didn't try.
Yeah.
And then he takes your number again and says, all right, I'll have them call. They never call. And the thing that kills me is he said, oh, I have a note in here that says they took it off the truck.
What?
Yeah, not good.
He said shortly after they put it on, they took it back off. According to him, but the notes isn't in our tracking information.
Yeah.
Fucking hate FedEx.
So
Worst.
And then they never called. Nobody ever called from the local branch. And I'm like, they're like, can you describe the package? I'm like, it's a federally regulated silencer. You know, trying to scare them into fucking realizing that you better hope you didn't lose this package.
Yeah.
What if someone stole it?
If you put a claim in on it, was it insured on the way here?
I would assume so. I can't imagine our distributor shipping something not.
Because
insured.
UPS moves their butt when you put a claim in.
Yeah.
Like if you put a claim in, they will find your package or they pay you, which is nice. That's why I like UPS.
We haven't paid.
Yeah, we ship everything outgoing UPS or USPS. I hate USPS also, but at one point our customers were getting pissed off because they would order like a muzzle brake and it would be like $18 of UPS shipping because UPS is more expensive. We all realize
they're
that.
expensive because they freaking get it there.
Right.
And if they don't get it there, they reimburse you or they find your GD package.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I like UPS, but people were ordering small stuff. But the only thing I did leave it on was gas tubes because they were notorious for bending gas tubes.
Yeah.
The Postal Service.
Post all the time. I'd get them back all the time. Somebody shoved it into the thing.
Who wants to see what's up with the package now?
What does it say?
You don't even want to know.
I do.
Oh no! If they sent it back, didn't they?
No, worse than that.
What? No scheduled delivery.
What does that mean?
It says it's still on the truck.
They lost it.
Right here, still says on FedEx vehicle for delivery.
They
They lost that shit.
They lost it.
Good thing we didn't pay for it yet.
Well, someone's gonna end up paying for it. That sucks.
They're gonna pay for it. They're gonna have to pay lipsies for it.
Yep. What is okay, Glenn? What does the ATF do about that?
So they have a special thing. If it ends up actually being lost, we have a form that we have to fill out called Lost in Transit.
It's different than like losing a firearm or something, right?
It's actually the same form.
Oh.
And the only difference is we just would fill it out for an NFA item, and they would go after. Basically, the ATF will go after them to make sure that they cannot find it.
Right, because what if it's some schmuck at FedEx is like, ooh, All-Star Tactical gets some good shit. I'm just gonna fucking open it and keep it.
Yeah, I mean it. Unfortunately, does happen.
We have people that work for FedEx. They say that they break and people steal stuff all the time from there because
we
know what the shipments are.
We had a local law enforcement officer who was really like into high-end bicycles, sold a titanium frame bike out west, and was
yeah, that's right.
Was told that his package was destroyed. They had a train crash or something, and the package was destroyed, no longer existed.
Huh.
Is what he was told. And he's like, well, I want a picture of the crumpled, destroyed box because this was like, it was like a $7,000 bike or something ridiculous that he sold.
Yeah.
Shit.
And he called like a cop in like the town where the facility that said it was destroyed at. And he did some cop back channeling and he got a call from someone like, oh, your package is right here. He's like, I want a picture of it. Gets a picture of it, completely fine, unopened, pristine, not even like a dent in the side of the box. And he was told the box was destroyed beyond recovery and was going to be given like $250 for his $7,000 bike.
Ah. Yep. I really hate FedEx.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's seen the videos of them chucking TVs over fences.
I mean,
they don't hire the brightest stars of the mail delivery world.
Yeah, when we lived a couple houses down from where we live now, we had a porch that was like, there was like 3 or 4 concrete steps up, and then like 6 steps up the porch, and it was good 25 feet from the road. I used to watch like Christmas time, the FedEx guy like lean out the side of the car and wing the packages up on the porch. And
I forgot about that.
And like he cracked our front like storm door one time because he hit it with a package.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and like the UPS guy would like knock on the door, and if nobody answered, he'd like go around back and like tuck it behind the fence so it wouldn't get stolen. And the FedEx guy would like bounce off the porch into the driveway, and he would just take off.
Yeah, no good. That's why I won't ship with FedEx. And if somebody, if like a customer wants me to ship USPS, I basically tell them I will ship with them, but it's on you. If the package gets lost or damaged, they won't replace it. I'm not replacing
They
it.
don't give a shit even if you insure it.
No, yeah.
Well, there's no point in insuring with USPS. I haven't had.
Talk to a real person in USPS.
No, that's like we
Ah.
offer. I think our website's set up to offer the customer free shipping at $100, and anything after 100, I automatically do it UPS because I can replace something probably under $100 for a customer, and then we can fight USPS if we had to. But anything over 100, I'm gonna have some sort of insurance on it.
So yeah.
Wait, Foxden, what does that mean?
So
FedEx contracted drivers versus UPS.
I was talking to so the one thing with FedEx is you don't have the same driver all the time. Like we have the same UPS driver every day.
Yeah.
But actually, we have one FedEx guy who comes by. He's probably 2 out of 3 times we get FedEx, he comes by. And I was talking to him, and not to throw him under the bus or anything, but he trashed FedEx pretty hard. Basically, FedEx drivers get paid per package, not per hour. And then he said some FedEx drivers own their own truck and are contracted per package.
Hey, thanks, Jess, for retweeting my tweet or liking my tweet.
Yeah. But yeah, so he was telling me that like he doesn't own his truck, but he gets paid like per package instead of like per hour.
And actually, our buddy Carl, Baby Bennett, as we call him, he was telling me that FedEx Ground, FedEx Home, and FedEx Freight are run as 3 completely separate companies.
Mm-hmm.
Completely separate, like no ties to the other whatsoever.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with the postal service on the the physical delivery side. It's always like the processing side that stuff gets screwed up with them.
Remember that time with your barrel?
Oh yeah.
I went to the post office to pick up a barrel for him. It was never delivered to our house.
I bought an old Browning A5 barrel online, and we got the tube with no barrel in it.
With no barrel in it. They delivered an empty tube, missing an N. So I went to the post office with the tube and was like, where's the thing that was inside of this?
The expensive thing of this, because it was like a 1930s era shotgun barrel.
Stood there with my tube like an asshole while they dug through the post office. It slipped out of the tube and it was rolling around in the bottom of a bin somewhere back in the post office.
Yeah.
They were like, is this what you're looking for? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's probably the only barrel in here.
The only shotgun barrel rolling around in the lost and found.
Oh, nice.
You know, it's ridiculous, Glenn. You remember that time that we were waiting for a USPS package? And we're waiting. Or no, I think it was just me. I was there by myself on a Saturday. Waited all day. I whatever reason, I remember being there all day. And it said on the truck, customer not there, off, back away, not delivered.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember you telling me about that because they just didn't come into the parking lot.
It was irritating the hell out of me. It's like they pulled by. They expected us not to be there because the company building, the business in the building that we share with isn't open on Saturdays.
Right.
So they assume we're not.
So they just drove right by.
Literally drove right by. I don't think they gave a shit whatsoever.
Well, we have 2. So you usually have 2 post office people, and the one lady is really, really nice. And like, she'll come in and she'll come in and like pick packages up with us. And then the other lady is a hell beast. And every time I leave it, like, cause like the one lady goes, if you have packages, just leave a note in the mailbox and I'll swing in and grab them. And so I leave a note and it's like on the wrong day when the other lady's there and she comes by and goes, you really need to do pickup for this. It's not my job.
Yeah. Oh, they're awful. We used to do that all the time with I hate stickers.
You know what's fucked up? If you do a pickup on the website, all it does is fucking notify them, and it's the same person that just pulls in is like, "You guys got any packages?"
The guy, though, remember the really cool guy when we were at the other shop?
Yeah, he's a gun dude. He's got one of our shirts.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
he explained to me. He goes, because he would just come in all the time.
Always to check with us.
Right. To make sure, because we always had a lot of stuff to ship out.
And he looked at gun stuff.
But what he would tell me is if he doesn't put it in to stop, when he gets back to USPS, they give him shit because he stopped and like they could track where he was and how long. So if he doesn't get a pickup slip,
yeah,
they get in trouble for going in and picking up. So he would just every day he would put in a pickup for us on his own.
That makes sense because
he always knew. He knew that we had so much stuff.
That's a nice person.
Yeah, that makes sense though, because I was sitting actually right where we were. I was on the computer the other day, and because we're in the city, we have a walking postman.
He sucks.
And he's not great, but whatever. But I heard him because we live on the backside of a house, and there's a business behind our house. So he walks up like through the alley next to our house to drop our mail off and the business's mail, and then the other house next to us. So I heard him like talking to somebody as he's coming through the alley. And he's like, well, and this girl responds, she's like, well, why do you go this way? And he's like, because there are mailboxes on the back of the house, and there's a business back here, and the other house is a mailbox on the back of their house. So I look down the window, and like he's in like his post office like shorts and polo with his bag, and there's a lady in like office skirt and like office blouse with like a notebook, like taking notes on his route.
Oh my gosh!
And all I can imagine is like how frustrating that must be for someone to like follow you and question everything you do.
Ugh.
I fucking hate FedEx so much. Okay, watch this. Right? You watching?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold it FedEx location.
This is a problem.
Are you fucking kidding me?
This is a problem because we don't know where it is.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Don't they get to choose like what responses come up when the website won't? That seems like not the response.
It's awful.
That's a response that never should have been
like,
programmed.
What?
Please.
That never should have been programmed into the website.
Well, we'll be calling FedEx tomorrow, and after speaking with FedEx, I guess we'll call Lipsy's and notify them.
And then
Then just wait. You know what sucks, Glenn? I was really excited. It was the only suppressor that would fit under the rail for our AR-10. Quiet that thing down, maybe help it cycle a little better. And it wasn't cheap. It was a Saker, the Silencer Co. Right? Silencer Co. Saker 762, and it was like almost a $930 suppressor.
Yep, and FedEx lost it.
Yeah, and FedEx lost it.
We're probably gonna get it tomorrow. Like they're gonna show up like because I'll get it the shop a half hour before we open it. The guy will be sitting in the parking lot, and he's gonna hand me a box with a 90-degree bend in the middle of it.
While we're still rambling here, Glenn, why don't you tell us about the scary break-in you had?
what?
Oh, in my car.
Yeah.
So I got a brand new first aid kit from Adventure Medical Kits, which, by the way, if anybody's looking for a first aid kit, they're really the only ones I would suggest. I put it in my car Tuesday morning. Yeah, I took it to work, threw it in the center console of my Jeep Tuesday morning, forgot to lock the center console of the Jeep. Anybody who drives a Jeep Wrangler knows that your car is basically open to the world because you have a plastic top.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And windows sometimes.
Got into my car Wednesday morning, so less than 24 hours after I put them in there, and the like couple of receipts and like stuff from my center console was on my driver's seat, and my first aid kit is missing. So I go through my glove box, I go through my dash. Literally the only thing missing out of my entire car is a first aid kit.
Really?
There's like $7 and change on my dash. Like there's quarters. Not even, it's not just pennies and nickels. There's quarters and dimes. And that is all there. But the first aid kit is missing. And like I can't be super mad because like it's a first aid kit. Maybe they needed it. But like, come on.
What are they gonna do with that? Like,
you steal my first aid kit. and like leave the $7 and change.
Please just take the $7 and change instead.
It's not the first time someone's stolen a first aid kit out of your car.
No.
The farmer's market in Arizona.
Oh yeah, that was no, that was in North Carolina.
Yeah.
That was like 11 years ago.
Someone also once stole a giant package of toilet paper out of the back of Glenn's Jeep. Glenn's
No,
My Jeep
no.
paper is just as good as money sometimes.
Toilet paper is going to be the end of the world commodity, I
All
swear.
3 of those
Gotta
times,
go.
no top on the Jeep. So it's not like
There's no top on the Jeep right now.
there's never a top on the Jeep.
What
But
about
the toilet paper, I was actually impressed because like we were like in a Walmart parking lot or something, and like I mean it was like a 36 pack of toilet paper. It's a pretty decent score, honestly.
Glenn Foxton just totally called you out, and that'll take us right into our next segment for Drink of the Week.
Oh, the one day I don't.
Oh, I did. Oh, me.
Changed everything
Oh,
around
Leah's
this
the only
week.
one
Holy
here.
crap. For
I
what?
got a whole selection of them.
Today's National IPA Day, apparently.
Ugh.
Oh,
Oh, that's disgusting.
What do you got, Leah? Show us.
I got a bunch of stuff. Let's see, what am I gonna end up with? I have a Saranac Gen 4 Session IPA.
I like the can. They got nice cans.
Yeah. Yeah, they got good cans.
Oh, I like your t-shirt. The Ramones.
Thank you.
Beat on the Brett. Beat on. Anyway, you know what's cool now about only having 2 people? I can click the Glenn and Leah one.
And just look at
We'll
them.
just look at them the whole time. That way there's
We
no
just
weird,
treat you guys the whole time.
no weird epileptic switching. So, actually, this is a good thing that Eric and Jesse are on tonight from Arizona, because I got some really awesome tin cup whiskey tonight. And I had this for the first time when I was out staying at their house in Arizona.
Oh, nice.
That
Is that
was-
within mine too, or
That's
is
you
mine
had you
different?
had a mixture of this and that mint whiskey.
I love the mint whiskey.
Yeah.
I do too. That was delicious.
It was very, very.
So yeah,
It's very
the
easy
the
to
tin
drink.
cup is dope. So Get is
What
asking
is-
if I had fat bombs for dinner, but I didn't have
I'm
any.
drinking iodine.
What are you
is it?
drinking?
Yeah, seriously.
It's just a mason jar full of rum and a little bit of melted ice.
Oh, I love the Kraken.
I
Kraken.
love Kraken rum. But I opened it about 3 minutes before the show started.
Oh wow.
Jeez.
Ooh. Moon Juice Galactic IPA. Did you know
What?
that hops are different on the West Coast and on the East Coast?
Yeah.
Apparently on the West Coast, they taste like weed. No, it's a real thing. It's actually a real thing.
Is that because of all the weed, or
Well, it's just what the people on the West Coast prefer their plants to taste like. They're related. They are related somehow.
everybody on the West Coast is just inclined to the taste of weed?
Oh, it is like it's real. I'm just not saying words right.
Ryan and Eric are like, "The fuck."
You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. I read that. No, I heard it on America's Test Kitchen.
Did they say weed on America's Test Kitchen?
No, they said
Cannabis
probably.
or marijuana?
Yeah. Because
Marijuana.
yes.
Marijuana.
This is skipping around on our stuff here, kind of, not really, but we might as well go right into guns and gear now that we discussed our little drinks. I wrote a big in all capitals, "My fucking suppressor is not here." But I talked about this knife on Glenn and I's live cast last week, but I'll use it as my guns and gear for tonight because I really do think this is a cool knife. I was showing it to Mike Ann today, and it's basically technically it's a blem from Combative Edge that I picked up because I'm in their Facebook group. Anodized titanium scales, looks like to be a stainless blade. It's really a sweet knife. Very shiny and knifey, with some stabby qualities. This is my third Combative Edge knife, actually, and we'll have to get Rob on the show or Jason to talk a little about what they do. But this was my first one out of their batch that they're getting made in Italy now. The quality is very, very good. The other two I have are both made in USA, also excellent quality. One of them's a shop knife, as Glenn knows the one I'm talking about. And yes. one of them's my Pimp Gold one, which you guys have seen in the past. But this one is out of the collection that I'll say Glenn and I have for Combative Edge. We've got one fully auto, one assisted, and now one just regular, which Glenn's felt this, Mike Ann felt this. This is very like super smooth. Like I was really a big fan when Glenn and Mike Ann felt my thing.
I actually liked that one more than the assisted.
Oh, guys, sorry. I guess I can't click on Glenn and Leah. Mike Ann just said I'm not showing up. Maybe if I click on them, that's the only people that get seen.
Yeah, everybody's been saying on the thing that they want to see your knife.
Oh, sorry, guys. Here you go. All right, so here it is open. You can see the kind of bluish titanium scales, real shiny, stabby, pointy part. And you can see they got their like a laser etched logo in there. And then the M1, which is what this is. And word on the street is, I don't know if it's out yet, but they're making a little bit smaller version of the exact same sort of knife design. So I'm excited to get one of those. And Rob's been bugging me for a while for us to do a All-Star Tactical Combative Edge collab.
And that is a confirmation that if you click on Glenn and Leah's face, that's all anybody sees.
Awesome.
So stop doing that.
Sorry. I can't just watch
your purty face.
My purty face. No, they just want to look at you.
Yeah.
Nope, not spring assisted. This is total just right knifey. What is not spring assisted called?
Just a folder.
Eric, they won't let him fly that out of the airport.
Bagged.
Oh, it's bagged.
It's bagged.
Oh, it's
bagged.
bagged.
It's bagged.
Yeah, but it's such smooth. It's got the rear thingy back here. I love knives. I literally probably have 30.
The who's it's what's
35
it's
knives, but I don't know any of the terminology. So
the mabobber.
The only thing I don't like is as smooth as this knife is, you can't just hit it and have it go fully out like you can in an assisted one. You'd have to sort of throw it, get some
flipper
momentum.
nub. I like that. Flipper nub.
Flipper nub.
Flipper nub.
I noticed the thumb stud is actually big enough, and you can get basically enough purchase on that to get it fully open. But like I said, very, very smooth. I'm almost positive they're still offering blems. He only had about 20 of them.
Where's the blem on this thing? What is?
There was a tiny little scratch on this one side.
Yeah.
Get closer.
Really?
Here, check. I don't even know if the camera will pick it up.
Oh, there it is. There,
You
right
see
there.
It? Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's one little shiny spot for the anodizing.
Huh.
That's a blem.
To tell you the truth, this is my daily carry knife now, and this is going to get more wear being in my pocket all day.
So it literally could have happened in your pocket.
It could have. Who knows if I know? What I got to do is have Glenn sharpen, or we got to get a good sharpener, and I'm going to resharpen that purple Kershaw I have, so you can start keeping in your purse or whatever.
Please get a sharpener. Please.
Well, I'd like to get one of those Wicked Edge ones, because considering we have a big collection of knives between the four of us, it'd be good for us to have one.
Yeah. They're really nice.
So we'll have to have Mike Ann bring us some, or one of these shows we'll have Mike Ann come on and talk about his knives too.
Yeah.
He came up for about an hour today. It was a good time.
Yeah. Mike Ann said that Rob and Jason are perfectionists, which I think is a professional perfectionist.
I like that. What it's called though, perfectionist.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, Mike says get the Wicked, and we had the demo at shop. Remember?
That guy spent
great
time with you guys. Literally, they turned the lights off on the last day, and he's still there.
He's still sharpening our
the old hippie guy that was sharpening that.
He was so nice.
They have a buy-in though. I think what it was going to cost us close to maybe $800.
I thought it was almost 1,000.
Close around there, but that got us the highest end one for us to have in shop, and one or two to sell retail. which I think is cool because personally, as a retail store person now, I think it's a cool idea to have it there and be like, come in, shop for guns. I'll sharpen your knife while you're shopping for guns.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad service.
Or
to
we
offer.
could hire like a chick, teach her how to do it, and she could wear just a bikini. We'd be literally the only shop in the country where you could get your knife sharpened by a girl in a bikini.
Yep, some Rochester chick in a bikini. That sounds appetizing.
But, you know.
In February, when she hasn't seen the sun in 8 months.
She works when she works B shift at the barrel.
Oh God, at the barrel. That's gonna be worse. I think I've only been there during A shift. And A shift gets you this.
They're very aggressive.
Too specific to be made up.
Okay. Anyway.
So what do we got? We got it coming up. Glenn, guns and gear. Show us your mouse pad.
It's doubling as my mouse pad tonight, but it's ballistics for long range shooting by Brian Litz. And
That is neither guns nor gear. Just continue.
I think it's related to guns. I don't know what you're talking about.
How come Glenn can show a book, but Leah can't show like her coolest new pot or mixer or?
Yeah.
We've never told Leah she couldn't. She just never wants to.
That's true. We didn't.
Well, you guys ask all the time. You go, Leah, you got anything? And she goes, you want to see my new mixer? And you're like, no.
Well, anyway, this is my really, really huge textbook by Brian Litz, who it's actually signed by him. Anybody's familiar, Brian Litz he made his name being an F-class and bench rest shooter. One of the best, probably knows more about long range shooting than almost anybody else in the country. And if you're looking for a book that is like just really, really full of charts and super, super in-depth, complicated descriptions of what a bullet actually does in the air, this is the book for you. It's part of a whole series of now 5 books. When I got it, there was only 4 books. So now I have to get the 5th one.
The original hipster.
But this guy, there's a whole series of books, and it's all focused on long range shooting. And there's literally no better source for actual information on these books than these books. So if you're looking to get into long range shooting, or you're already into it and you want to get serious about it, you have to get these.
I actually have the red book, the Understanding Firearm Ballistics. I think
the red and black cover, soft cover.
Yep, Robert A. Rinker. That's a pretty good book too, I think. That's
one of the best, like, explaining it to people who aren't coming from like a scientific side. That book's really good. Sadly, that they just put that book out of print.
They did. You can't find it anymore except for use, and I have a copy here.
Yeah, I have a copy that got wet, and I was going to buy a new copy, and I couldn't find a new copy.
Oh no!
I've still read mine twice.
Oh no! You read it after it was wet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did the pages get sticky?
They did. But this is like, I mean, it's bigger than textbooks I've bought. I think it's.
Does it have a DVD?
Yes, it comes with a DVD.
Have you watched it? Do you even have a DVD player?
It's actually ballistic software.
We have a DVD player, and when we plugged it in, we learned that it is fancy.
It's a 578-page book that comes with ballistic software.
Did you play it in your Laserdisc player, Glenn?
No,
on his Victrola.
It is not compatible. But
did you listen to the book on tape on 8-track?
Oh, this wouldn't be good on tape. There's too many charts.
Are those to scale?
No, 6mm Lapua bullets are not that big.
Glenn, what does the book tell you? What happens if you put a 300 blackout in your 5.56 gun?
No, the internet will tell you that your gun blows the fuck up.
Glenn also told me that today. He said, "Mike, I'm putting the 300 blackout bullets in the aluminum mags because you hate aluminum mags, and all our 5.56 are going in the P mags."
Yeah, because I don't want that to get fucked up.
And that might.
But let's have a sub guns and gear here. You got that working. Give the listeners a little bit of what you had to do.
So we have a 300 blackout. Most 300 blackout barrels are not tuned very well because they're tuned for supersonic or subsonic. We were going to shoot pretty much exclusively subsonics out of it. So I put the suppressor on, cycled it up, and it was initially was not even ejecting fired rounds because the gas was so low. So I had to get the little pin gauges out, and I measured the gas port at like 60 thousandths, which is tiny for a gas port. And I actually ended up opening it up to about 95 thousandths with some clenching and some drill bits. Because it's not an easy process. You can pretty much destroy a barrel in about 30 seconds. But I opened it up and I got it to cycle Remington subsonics really well. So now we have a short-barreled 300 blackout with a suppressor that we can have some fun with. And I was shooting it yesterday in the test fire room, and I come out and Mike's like, "What gun were you shooting? Was it a 22?"
Literally, I thought he was testing a customer's 22. I was like, did he thread some 22 and shooting like our Sparrow that we haven't shot yet? And I'm like, and he's like, no, I'm shooting the blackout. It's working. What the fuck? It literally
Really
stupid quiet. And like normally Glenn goes, I'm going to shoot something. And like, I'll keep working on my computer. It'll still startle me. It's still fairly loud. It echoes just enough in from the machine shop into the retail shop that it startles me. And this was just like,
yeah. I mean, shooting indoors.
Planet mode.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I can shoot inside without hearing protection, which is pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Absolutely. I mean, if it was that quiet for me, I absolutely would imagine you didn't need hearing protection.
And it's a 220 grain bullet. It's a big bullet.
Yeah. We also, to keep going on guns and gear here, we got a lot of people, so good time to really dive into some of the other stuff we're doing. Glenn and I had a big discussion of do we have enough bolt guns and should we build some more? So I was trying to figure out what bolt guns I have.
And the answer was yes to both.
Right. So right now, working bolt guns, I've got that Savage 17 HMR.
Mm-hmm.
I've got your CZ 550, which, by the way, is serial number 1 in its production run.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
I didn't know that.
It's like letter, like ZZ, whatever that series is, 0001.
I love that rifle.
You love that gun.
I really do.
That gun not only is a fucking awesome shooter, it's got the single set trigger, which is it's one of the only ones I know of where you push the trigger forward.
Yeah.
And then it becomes like an 8-pound trigger or something.
Set triggers used to be really popular like pre-World War II on hunting rifles, and they kind of fell out of favor. But CZ still makes a lot of rifles with set triggers. And the single set, you just push it forward and it turns into like less than a pound.
Yeah. I think for that reason alone, I don't think I'd ever get rid of that gun. I just think it's such a cool gun.
I really, really like it.
It's a CZ 550 Kevlar Varmint Tactical, or Kevlar Varmint. It's basically 24 or 26 inch heavy barrel. No threading, no fluting, but in a HS Precision Kevlar stock.
Yeah, it's
really nice.
Literally, we don't have to do anything to the gun; just leave it the way it is.
No, absolutely. The only thing I would ever do would thread it. Maybe if you want to ever throw a suppressor on it, would be cool to thread it. Otherwise, it shoots fine.
Oh, it's ready to go.
It's super accurate. So with that said, those two bolt guns I think are our only two working bolt guns, plus yours, right?
Yeah, plus my number 1.
Your Shorty 308.
But your 300 mag just needs to be fluted and Cerakoted.
Yep. So 300 mag has been chambered, trued, barrel attached, and torqued down. That needs to be put in the CNC and fluted, then Cerakoted, and that's going to drop into an AICS AX chassis. We've got a PT&G action and bolt that will be mated up to a Bartlein 308 barrel. You're gonna do that as a shorty for me, right? So we're gonna do that
shorty in the folding AI chassis.
The folding AI. So that gun you're literally gonna be able to fold and stick in a backpack for a bolt gun,
cool.
which is gonna be sweet.
You sold your last AR that's on the wall, right? I mean,
I sold my multicam AR.
Made me
So
sad.
I know. So really, realistically, my only AR right now is the AR-10, the Shorty AR-10,
You guys gotta
which the
make more.
fucking suppressor was for. So
You guys need to get more of those AR. Haven't a lot of people been calling for
people have been
AKs
buying like
too now?
not really, but people have been building ARs like crazy. We can't keep parts in stock fast enough.
That's good.
People have been calling about our safe mods. California, Massachusetts, New York, all can use our safe mod now, but we can't do anything until we get the CNC back up and running.
How far out are you on that?
Soon, I just got to get air to it and get it final leveled. So 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We just got to put some time in there, build some shelves and stuff. So
It's been hot as balls in there.
I know.
I don't blame you.
So back to the bolt gun. Bolt gun number 3, shop bolt gun's going to be, we've got a Defiance action, and you have a 6.5 barrel for it, right? 6.5 more.
Yeah, that Defiance action is a thing of beauty.
It is. So I think that 6.5 Creedmoor is going to be a super nice build. So we're going to have 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, 300 Win Mag. And I was bugging Glenn today. I was like, do we build a 338 Lapua? And his suggestion was not to, because we have 300 Win Mag, and we're not gonna see a huge difference from it. So I like planning these builds, and I'm sure Glenn loves actually doing the work and building it. I just like picking out the parts and stuff. So
I suggest if we do another one to do something in like one of the whisper calibers, so we can do like a super quiet, like almost silent gun, which would be really fun because it wouldn't even have like action noise like we have with the 300 Blackout AR.
Yeah, and I think you definitely have me sold on this KMW Sentinel stock.
You and more you look at it,
man, it's beautiful. Here, I'm going to share my screen real quick and show you guys because that stock is a thing of beauty. And like, I fell in love with the thumb hole on my folding AICS, so I really think thumb hole would suit me very well. And that's got the night vision on it too.
Yeah, that one's got the night vision. I usually don't like thumb hole stocks, but I think that stock just has like an aggressive, almost like shark look to it.
It's a very nice looking stock, and they offer it in a ton of really nice colors.
Mm-hmm.
But you haven't shot my AICS one yet, have you?
I haven't shot yours, but I've shot a couple other ones.
You just weren't a fan, or?
The problem I have with AICS is I've never shot one that was long enough for me, so I've never been comfortable on one.
Oh, you should shoot mine because I have all the spacers still in it.
Yeah.
And it's too long for me. So when we put it back together, you shoot it first, and then we'll pull out the one spacer for me. Yeah. I guess it really all depends on where we put the optics, you know?
Yeah, it might just be that I've never shot one that was fit right to me that I liked.
That's true. I mean, it in prone, I felt it was a little rough on my shoulder, but otherwise, I like it. Ryan says it kind of looks like an AI, and you're right, Ryan. I think that's why I like it.
The foreend's a lot more refined.
The forend looks better than an AI, whatever. I have the 1.5, but the back half of it definitely screams AI.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I mean, anybody out there listening, like I said, Glenn loves to build these bolt guns. You want to start a bolt gun project, give us a call. Shameless plug there, but they're fun. We what can I say? We actually love building guns and designing projects for our customers. It's an awesome time.
The best part.
So, all right, let's get off guns for a little bit. And I've been saving this Leah Wraps for Leah. So we haven't done a Leah Wraps in a while. So let me know when you're into your Leah Wraps page, Leah.
I'm here.
All right, let me jump in there, and I'm going to copy and paste the...
oh, shit. I just closed it.
I'm not even going to ask Glenn what this is, but I'm sure he knows. Let's see if Glenn can figure out what movie is it from, and then maybe
anything starring Will Smith. You got this, babe.
And then
first of all, Will Smith is an American hero. He saved us from
maybe Glenn will be able to figure out who actually. I'm sure he could figure out the name of the song. That's going to be easy. But I doubt he's going to be able to figure out who sings it. So what I'm going to do is I'm copying all the lyrics except for the hook that'll give it away.
on, Mike.
Wow. I'm not gonna say any of that.
It's perfect. Here, I'll make it big for you so you can see it well. There you go.
That's a lot of
Words.
that Leah's gonna have to change.
That's going to be great. Come on, Leah. Let's hear it.
Oh,
Nope.
no,
Sorry.
now you
Trying to,
just
how
White on white.
do I get rid of the background?
Who cares?
Yeah, Mike, it doesn't matter. I can read it.
Okay.
She has read.
You can has read?
It looks a lot less gangsta on that pink background, though.
I don't have a pink background.
Okay. A real gangsta-ass person of African-American descent plays his cards right. A real gangsta-ass person of African-American descent never runs his fucking mouth. Real gangsta-ass people don't start fights. And people always got a high cap, showing all his boys how he shot him. But real gangsta-ass people don't flex nuts. Because real gangsta-ass people know they got him. And everything's cool in the mind of a gangster, because gangsta-ass people think deep. This is deep. Up 365 Ayo 24/7. Because real gangsta-ass people don't sleep. And all I gotta say to you, wannabe, gonna be, cocksucking, pussy-eating pranksters, is when the fire dies down, what the fuck are you gonna do?
What you got, Glenn?
Am I guessing who did it or what movie it was in?
Let's start with the name of the song.
Gangster ass people.
Nope. How about
Really?
what movie it's from?
Is it from Boys in the Hood?
Nope.
Come on, Glenn.
All right, here we go. I'm giving it away. Oh, we
My
got an
name
ad.
is Kubo.
Critics are blown away.
I'm skipping the ad. Hang on. Ring a bell?
I've heard it before, but I don't know it.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. A real gangster type player plays his cards right.
This is edited.
Type player never runs his mouth because real gangsterized players don't start fights.
From now on, Leah needs to use the word playa.
Playa.
There you go. Play it instead of.
Shot him. But real gangster type players don't flip that because real gangster like
I don't know what this is from. I've heard it before.
everything is cool and
I think it was in Grand Theft Auto.
player think deep. Up 365 of your 24/7 because real gangster type players don't slip.
Okay.
And all I gotta say to you, wanna be, gonna be, you eating jealous heart pranksters.
I just wanted to see how they were going to do that line.
No, they cleaned it up.
Yeah, they cleaned it up good.
Yeah,
So anyway,
I think
it's,
it was in Grand Theft Auto 4, I think.
nope, it was, well, maybe.
Maybe.
But it was in from Office Space. Come on.
Oh, yes. Office Space.
Oh, yeah.
From now on, Leah, you have to replace it with playa.
I can do that.
Play a type or something. you
Yeah.
said, right?
Yeah.
All right, that was fun.
It was fun for me. I had fun. All right, Glenn, I'm going to toss it over to you. Let's talk a little bit about prepping. What do you got? You got anything for tonight, or is this from last week?
Oh, well, we didn't actually do it last week because we cut out, remember?
Oh, okay.
I'm going to reuse it. So for prepping, I wanted to touch just kind of what I was going to call little disasters. The prepping community sometimes gets tied up in zombie apocalypse, the end of the world, the government's coming for us kind of stuff. And they kind of forget about the little disasters. Do you have a kit in your car for when your tire blows out? We live in the Northeast. If you were driving on the thruway in the middle of December and you had to spend a day and a half on the thruway because people have had to do that, would you be ready to do that?
No.
You would be. You just don't know it. It's in the back of your car. And Leah would freeze to death with a wool blanket in the back car. But like, so
You would have coffee. She's got
Yeah.
it everywhere.
So what it's like, so the thing was, just think about the little disasters. These things are much more likely to happen. It's more likely to happen that you get stuck on the thruway in the middle of a blizzard. It's more likely that your tire is going to blow. It's more likely that someone's going to have a car crash in front of your house and you're going to have to run out and help them. Those are the kind of things you should get ready for first. And if you're ready for those little disasters, kind of the cumulative effect of all that is you get ready for something much worse. People kind of overlook the day-to-day disasters. If Ari, if you were out with the boys and Alex just like skinned his knee right off, would you have a couple Band-Aids and stuff to throw on it, and like that, just like that kind of thing? If you,
Skinned his knee right clear off.
well, I've done that.
No knee left.
You tell them to suck it up. And
Yeah.
you go, it's not that bad. Suck it up.
They call it the duct tape rule.
Or you put some mom spit on it where you lick your hand and then
I like that.
But
we learned that from the Italians. That's
Yeah.
true.
or those, I mean, what happens every time they announce a massive blizzard in New York? Everybody runs out to the grocery store and buys all the bread and milk. If you already have a couple days of canned food in the house, it's not a big deal if you don't make it to the grocery store.
I never understand why they buy milk.
They
Power is gonna go out. Your milk is gonna go bad.
buy bread and milk, and they never buy bread and milk normally.
Weird.
But so it's just if you prepare for the little things that are actually probably gonna happen, it helps you get ready for the big thing that might happen. But people just get tied up in their head with the government's going to come for us, or the zombie apocalypse is going to happen, or whatever, and they kind of ignore car accidents or flat tires and those little things that actually do happen. That if you get ready for those, it makes your life a lot easier. Just keeping a couple Band-Aids in your backpack is like a huge helpful thing that nobody does.
I always keep moleskin with me because I get blisters because I wear brand new shoes to work.
Which
Like an
is,
asshole.
but that's a huge thing, because if your car breaks down and you have to walk 2 miles home,
Moleskin's
moleskin's going to be super handy.
Either that or you're ready to dance.
Yeah, so
That
like,
too.
so just getting ready for those little things that are actually probably going to happen in your life will actually get you ready for something worse, but also make your life go a little bit smoother.
I like that.
Keeping an extra power bar in your backpack for an emergency. I skipped lunch. Helps down the road if you have to bug out.
My little sister got stuck in the Philadelphia airport for 48 hours.
Yeah, stuff like that. You're traveling, you get stuck in an airport for 2 days.
What about having a first aid kit in your center console? Is that a good idea?
It's a really good idea. So all the homeless guys in your neighborhood can patch themselves up.
That's good.
Do you imagine if some sort of trauma actually happened and one of those guys that hangs out at Andy's ran up with your bag and was like, I've got a
What's the thing?
splint.
That's the thing, is like I can't.
Yeah, you guys watching gun channels?
Yes.
Eric says Jess always has Band-Aids because blood makes her pass out, and she just goes Star Wars Band-Aids.
And they don't sell blankets in Arizona.
Which is fair because it's
I
Arizona.
guess that makes sense. What about
Does it get cold at night?
well, I'd like to say this because we talked about, let's say shit hits the fan with New York or whatever, politically, whatever, where would we go? And I was like, honestly, Texas has tornadoes. Where would I go? And I was like, I could see us in Arizona. But you've always
Love Arizona.
you've all, because I said that too. I was like, well, where would Glenn and Leah go? Because they got to come with us. But you've always said Arizona brings up the idea of water source.
Water.
You know what I mean?
You don't have water there. Come
They
on.
have water up north, though. Where we live, we had lakes.
But still, did you leave the house without a water bottle?
No. It's parchy there.
So I mean,
Like seriously, let's talk total prepper shit, tinfoil hat, whatever. So let's say shit ends, politically, whatever. In water is a serious resource. The southwestern states are going to actually have a legitimate issue with that, won't they?
They import their water in. Like, it's not
Well, where does
natural there.
Arizona get their water? Is it brought in via like aqueduct or something?
I don't fucking know.
It comes from the Colorado River, doesn't it?
a large amount comes from the Colorado.
Literally looks like our grass right now. Our grass is normally green. It's brown, like in the winter.
But I mean, theoretically, we're in a drought here.
That's all year round for them. They have pre-banned grass for a reason.
Well, that's
Green grass.
Vegas has pre-banned grass.
Is that standard
Only
capacity or high
have
cap?
grass.
Ryan
like you
says he
had
can.
there.
Ryan says we should go to northern Arizona.
I love
Northern Arizona, where we live, we had lakes and mountains and
Teach
streams.
us to find water. He says it's everywhere. Just don't eat a cactus. And Ryan, can I use one of those Y sticks to find water?
I think you can only do that if you're a woman.
Oh,
Which
like an
that's
old
not a real.
Yeah.
It's not a real thing.
no, but
no, actually, it probably is a real thing.
it's totally real. But there are parts of Arizona. We
It's
had a beautiful snow-fed mountain stream behind our house.
You know how far it is to get to Arizona from here?
That's
That's why
also
we don't live in
the
Arizona.
thing. Yeah.
From
Like,
here?
From here.
Well, if
Like
we were
you're
gonna,
talking if shit hits the fan here
no,
or
no,
like
no.
anywhere.
I'm talking about if the
We
political
live in New
climate,
York.
if the political climate heads downward and we can see it.
He's not talking about zombie apocalypse. He's talking about
I'm talking about the future of politics, and we need to leave New York.
So when they send us a letter and they go, "Hey,
turn in
we're
your guns.
totally going to butt fuck you right now," you have about 2 days. Pack your shit. You might want to go.
That's
2 days to lube up.
if they're just if it's just a butt fucking. I've got some really great oils I use to stretch my ears.
Hypoallergenic.
It is. It's actually called Naked Oil from my piercing place, and it's got jojoba and some other oils that really helps the skin stretch. And I have not tried it on my butthole before, like a big poop or something.
But you've been using it on the blowout of your
I
ears.
use it on my left ear that I have a slight blowout, and it feels a lot better.
Your little pink sock?
My little, I literally have an ear pink sock.
They grow jojoba in Arizona.
Okay, so
how do you
so
grow
best
jojoba? I
case-
thought it was man-made.
Plant.
Is it a tree or a bush?
I don't know.
Can we go back to the fact that people on keto's bad breath is because they don't eat bread and it knocks the tartar off their teeth?
What?
I think there's
I
more to
definitely
it
noticed
than
that
that.
your
'Cause I
breath
still-
has changed.
I still think that's a
Because you're
thing.
kind of rotting from the inside.
Not.
Oh, my God.
Hey, I will say this: as of the last 3 days, because I've maintained the exact same weight for 3 full days now, which sucks.
Oh, you're probably gonna have a huge dump.
I
and,
took a
like-
big dump at work right before I left.
Okay.
But so I'm excited to weigh myself tomorrow to see if I break the threshold. But I'm at 200.6, a total of 18 pounds down
That's holy
since I
shit.
started, and I'm super excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
So yeah, that's it. That's.
But your breath has changed. I have noticed that.
really.
Yeah. The end. I'm gonna drink.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because
Oh,
what
nut.
hey,
Oh,
Pig nut. It's a lot of nuts.
nuts. Look at nuts. Look, hey, oh, gun channel's nuts.
plus in Arizona they have little what's the little pig?
Oh, get us down 20 pounds.
Oh, what
Yes.
is
God.
He punched me.
What are the Ryan? What are the little pigs you guys have in Arizona?
the javelina?
The javelina, the little stink pigs.
What's a
Little
stink pig?
pigs.
They
It's-
are. They look like giant rats.
They're closer related to rats than pigs, and they're what 45, 65 pounds.
No, not even. They're
What?
like this big. They're actually more closely related to rats than pigs.
Yeah.
But they look like little pigs.
They like
Javel-
challenge the rats
javelina?
of the New York City.
Javelina.
Javelina?
They're
Is it Stan-
super
is it
mean. Yeah, super duper mean.
Javelina?
Okay, I don't want to go there.
Hey,
Where's that? Nope.
Eric,
Well, there's tons of cool stuff in Arizona. It's super, super cool.
Eric or Jess? What was? I don't think Jess went. It was just me and Eric. But what was that cool pizza wing place we went to while we were there? That was good.
There's no such thing as good pizza in Arizona.
No.
Well, we didn't. I don't know if we got pizza, but I think we got wings. The service sucked, but it was good. I'm sure Erica will stop in. So
Yeah. There's absolutely no good pizza in the entire state of Arizona.
That's not
tell if
true.
you calling
What's that
him
thing
Erica
from
or if you just
Yeah.
like
no, Eric.
Erica.
That's what I do. So, tailgaters. That's what he said. Tailgaters.
Then how would I know?
I don't know.
See what Getta said? She's signing up for ballet.
Shut up! That's awesome. No, wait, I missed it. There's a lot going on in Gun Channel.
So Ryan said that the javelina are just like generic. I got shut down for
Yeah,
my
shut
no. There's no good pizza. There is.
They import their water from New York. That's true. Erica, that's somewhat true because Erica said that Erica's dad in Alabama, right, like halfway in between Birmingham and Huntsville. Absolutely awful pizza, but he was
they're awful.
But he was telling us there's pizza places that will literally ship water from New York City to make the dough, and that's literally what it is. He was telling me that it's literally the water that makes the dough taste like it does, or something. I don't know.
New York City
I fucking hate everybody who eats pizza and cake and cookies right now.
Oh, it's so good.
New York City has really good water because it comes from like a limestone basin.
It's like Kentucky. That's why bourbon is different, because the water in Kentucky is different.
That's probably we really can. I really drank a lot of this tin cup.
Holy shit!
Look at that.
Hey, you and your Kraken buddy.
That me and Glenn.
I will feel like shit at work tomorrow. So good job. I'm
gonna add a little bit of that there.
Jesus.
You got the dogs tomorrow, right? Is tomorrow?
No, tomorrow's your day. Home
All right,
slice.
I might sleep right through it, just so you know.
I will have Max pee on your clothes.
Fine.
Deal.
Or chew off your toes.
Got my back, right?
Love you so much.
I know you do, because of what I do for you on Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds dirty.
But
we can't tell anybody yet.
We can't?
Not yet.
Still not yet?
Not yet.
All right.
I know about it.
I think most people do.
Does it involve flexibility?
I told your mom.
Did you?
Yep.
I'm just reading through all my comments of people because I tweeted about losing or them losing a suppressor, and everybody's mad. Everybody hopes that it got delivered to them instead.
You mad, bro?
Yeah.
Well,
I love butt stuff. What?
I think it was last year. Some guy in like Washington D.C. had like a Troy Industries rifle delivered to his house, and they just like left it on his front door.
That's I understand that realistically, there needs to be some sort of anonymity of packages for security reasons. You know what I mean? Like, if it's anonymous, you don't know what's in there. So less of a chance for somebody to peek whether they think it's a fucking butt plug or a gun.
Butt stuff.
However, should there be some sort of label, kind of like ORMD, that says this is a fucking important package. Don't fucking lose it.
This you don't want
federally registered and tracked product. Or
most people would steal those then, because it's probably prescriptions or firearms.
But you're right. So I was just gonna say that. What about the pharmaceutical industry? How are they moving stuff by actual carrier, or are they shipping drugs through fucking?
I think narcotics have to be by courier.
Really?
Yeah. I know sperm goes by FedEx.
Does it?
Yeah, in little vials.
But with liquid nitrogen with it.
Yeah,
right?
The tanks are expensive.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, I kind of think UPS left an entire pallet of guns sitting outside on the sidewalk of one of our unopened stores.
They
literally dropped off a pallet of long firearms.
That was because their driver called out sick or something, and they hired like a temp driver who didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
Still,
there should
have been a paper somewhere that said, "Don't just leave it on the sidewalk."
There was definitely a paper somewhere.
It doesn't. Maybe the box doesn't have to be labeled, but where's the accountability there? Is FedEx accountable for this product? What if now it's been lost or stolen and used in a murder? Who's accountable? It's technically transferred to me.
Well, that's the other question. I was thinking about that today. So NFA items are pretty restricted. You can't, even as the FFL holder, couldn't take it somewhere without a copy of your FFL and your SOT.
Totally.
How does FedEx get to handle it without those things? They just get to have it because
right.
I don't I'm sure there's some sort of ATF rule that says transit companies are indemnified or whatever, but I don't know. They lost our package and I'm mad about it. That's all I know.
So somebody
you guys wouldn't be indemnified if you lost it.
Oh yeah, we'd be screwed if we lost it.
But so why is one company any different than another?
You're absolutely right, Leah. If the suppressor became in our possession, we put it in our books, and we lost it because we were fucking around at the range or something,
Whoopsies.
the ATF would be so far up our asses. I'd need that jojoba oil.
Right. So that's why I'm saying, like, FedEx can't. Oopsies.
Right.
These things don't disappear. When matter exists, it can't go anywhere. It's the way matter works.
Yeah, welded titanium and Inconel doesn't usually disappear.
Yeah. By the way, I'm going to thank everybody for listening to us live this week, because I don't know if it worked for you guys or anybody else, but this week was the first week I created a Facebook event to kind of let Facebook remind people of when we were going live, and we've had the most people live watching in a long time. So,
Yeah, I like that everybody's participating
in
on
gun channels.
It's
And,
fun.
I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. So if it worked for you guys, let me know if the Facebook event helped remind you or whatever, or
They just missed us.
they did.
Ryan said that FedEx has delivered rifles to the hospital down the street.
Oh my god!
That's literally fucked up. Go look on my thread, Glenn. If you look at my thread on Facebook, Joe Salvador, Da Vinci Arms,
Yeah.
goes, dude, I got one better. They delivered my serialized parts. He makes suppressors.
Yep.
They
Yeah.
delivered my serialized parts to the local high school.
Oh my god!
Oh my god. so he like had to go get them. So like the
How
10
do you
minutes-
fucking explain that?
Right. For the 5 minutes you go pick those up from the local high school, you're in violation of federal law.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
How fucked up is that?
That's
But
butt
is it
fuckery.
in violation of a bunch of laws for there to be serialized firearm parts like 25 yards within a high school anyways?
It's I think 100 yards actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Tell me this. I'm gonna put this in everybody's
Riddle
head.
me this.
Yeah. Riddle me this. Does FedEx, UPS, USPS, whatever, can you be a felon and work for them?
Carl would know.
Carl.
Googling it.
However,
I know they do checks on their drivers, but I don't know what they check for.
right. So
But that's just drivers. I mean, they've got people that
right.
load
Just
the trucks
load the
and
truck.
stuff.
You're literally for that split second in possession of a firearm.
I know certain big box stores subcontract their warehouse facilities,
Okay.
do not check their staff out thoroughly enough, and firearms and $4,000 safes have fallen off the back ramp. In those
You
trucks.
I mean,
Like fallen
Well,
off, got stolen, or fallen off, got damaged.
No, like rolled off the ramp into people's pickup trucks.
Ooh.
helpforfelons.org says that UPS does hire felons. It doesn't say in what context they hire them, because if they're doing office work and never touching packages, who cares? But
There's a website called helpforfelons.org.
sure is. There's a website for everything.
Hirefelons.org.
I mean, felons need jobs too.
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with it. It's just
I don't have a problem with the felon thing, but it literally is
FedEx does
Inter-
not hire felons.
an interesting conundrum. Was that
It
Ryan
is-
saying that?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, he just looked it up.
Oh, perfect.
but you don't have to be a felon to be a prohibited possessor. You could have a domestic. You could
That's
have a drug conviction.
You could be you could have renounced your citizenship.
Your restraining order.
Yeah, you're right. And that wouldn't show up as being a felon.
Restraining order doesn't show up on a regular background check.
No, it absolutely wouldn't.
Nope.
And that brings me to not my next point, but brings me to a very good point here is that everybody's clamoring fucking gun control, but let's fix the current fucking system and not just update the NICS website.
Oh, I'm so dreading that.
Dude, that's gonna suck. Well, it's
They're
next week.
updating it? What are they doing?
Well, we use the
The leap entry login.
I'm gonna show you guys. Is this legal for me to show people, Glenn?
Yeah, it's a public website. You just don't log in.
Oh, I was gonna log in.
Don't just I would just show them the login page.
Okay, so I was gonna show them what it looks like when we type it in, but
It
I
looks
guess
like a NICS form.
It looks like this. It looks the same as a 4473.
It
So what-
does. So like there's this federal e-check website, and aren't there gun shops you go to where they turn it over to you and you type it in yourself?
No, so some gun shops have been approved to use a piece of software that's separate from this that you can enter the information in, that it submits it to.
Okay. So
Like I know Dixon Field and Stream have their own software that you enter your information to, and it submits it to eCheck.
so they have some sort of API link or whatever.
Yeah, and then there's other businesses that have basically just an electronic form.
So what I'm saying, this eCheck website is what they're updating, and for the longest time, Ari, literally for Glenn, when did we start using eCheck? What?
February.
4 months ago, 5 months ago?
After we opened.
Right after we opened, we started using eCheck. Until then, we were calling in every single one.
Yeah.
You and I have done it millions of times.
Yep.
Glenn's done it a bunch of times.
I mean, I worked at Gander Mountain, and we were calling them in. That was the first time I actually learned how to use eCheck, is because they switched to eCheck. We started using it for about 2 months, and then the system got hacked, and it got shut down for a couple of months. So we had to go back to calling.
Talking
calling's
to the
not
people.
bad. It is. I like also because I like to play the is she hot or not, unless it's a dude.
They all have Southern accents. Every single one of them.
I think the call center's in Virginia.
That makes
said
sense.
in Connecticut, they have to fill out everything themselves.
Well, they have to fill it on any form. You have to fill out everything.
I'm
we
assuming-
can't touch anything.
I'm assuming she means typing it in.
Oh.
So at our store, we make them fill out the paper 4473, and then all Glenn or I do is log into this eCheck site and literally type everything in. I honestly think it's great, but I think what Glenn and I are both scared of is that they're rolling out a new system. I guarantee you the first week is going to be a fucking nightmare.
Oh, it's like anything when Windows does an update or anything.
Right.
The first week there's glitches.
That's going to bring me to Tech Corner, but yes.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So it's just I'm concerned that for a week it's going to be down half a day.
Oh, what's the worst thing that you have to do? You have to talk to somebody on
Right.
the phone?
Worst case, we have to call it in. But the downside is if there's an actual issue with the website, every gun store is going to be calling it in, which means
which will back
we're
it up.
going to be sitting on hold.
And they've been reducing the staff.
Sick.
They've been reducing the staff at the call center because they've been pushing people to the website.
Yeah.
It's no Rage. I mean, their whole music is not Rage Against the
We
Machine.
don't have Rage anymore. Although, Glenn, what was that dude that called me in the first, literally
It's
the
311?
first? I have
Nope.
three. I have four
Yeah.
different songs: 311, Rage, and something else, I think. But the first thing I answer the phone to, like, literally the first thing out of this dude's mouth, your hold music sucks.
Ew.
I literally wanted to hang back up and be
I
like,
would have hung up.
I don't want your business then if you don't like fucking
If you don't
the awesome music. I
fucking
think.
like it,
Now, I'm not going to lie. I do need to go back in and re-upload the songs with a lower volume.
yeah, they're
They're just-
turned up.
I didn't know.
That you are ready to like party.
I
when you get
literally
on the
pulled
phone.
the songs out of my MP3 library and uploaded them.
all
I
the way to
didn't- I
11.
didn't realize I should lower the volume.
Whew.
They're loud, that's all.
Yeah, 311 comes on and
But
it's
they're good
like
songs. Though.
they're good
They're definitely
songs.
good songs.
ready to party though when you get on the
For
phone.
sure. So,
Greg says we have to get his 308 lower in stock before the update, so he doesn't get screwed.
or we're out of 308 lowers.
Yes.
I gotta email them again. Our machine shop actually emailed me and said they have 10 AR-15 billet lowers ready for us for next week.
That's like the same.
I know. Tell
Just-
Greg you're gonna have
Push
to
the
wait.
line.
We know Greg loves us, so and
That's a good thing.
you remember Greg.
Yes.
Um
He's been with us through a lot.
Greg's been with us since Webster.
Yeah.
And his buddy Mike. Remember
Yeah.
Mike? Mike Glenn, you remember meeting Mike? He was the other guy with Greg that was the Marine.
Yes.
Yeah, both good dudes. Greg's been with us since Webster.
Yeah.
Back in the Greg and Mike, I think we used to run into them at the Webster Carnival. Remember?
Yeah. They're both very patient people.
Yeah. Greg loves the wiener though. I could say that because I've known Greg long enough. And he's gonna laugh. Right?
Eric says he needs the 308 too. So what? Maybe our listeners can tell us what changed in the last month or so that everybody all of a sudden wanted AR-10 and like 308 ARs.
Totally. We've sold like one AR, maybe a couple lowers in the last 3 or 4 weeks, but we wiped out of AR-10 stuff. It's weird.
It's been crazy the last 3-4 weeks. All of a sudden, everybody wants.
Hotness.
I honestly think it is. I think everybody's bought up a bunch of AR. Only yours. That's my wiener. I think honestly, everybody's built up their ARs. Like for instance, for Greg's building an AR-15 and an AR-10 at the same time. The only reason he's probably building the 15 is he sold his old one.
Mm-hmm.
But Glenn's absolutely right. It's like I feel like everybody's asked for AR-10s lately, and why aren't people coming in having us building a big bolt gun project? I mentioned this to Glenn today. I was like,
I think you'll see that the next thing.
but I'm like, is everybody just still pushing ARs, or do they just know All Star Tactical as the AR shop?
Well, you're definitely known
or people
local.
Well, Glenn brought up a great point, and Glenn, I'm going to throw it to you for a second because I think this needs to be talked about.
Mm-hmm.
People walk in and think that building a bolt gun is just like an AR.
No.
I've had 2 customers in the last week and a half come in with like a couple Remington 700 parts, not understanding that it's not like an AR where you can just screw it on and go.
Not Legos for adults.
It's not like Legos for adults. It's a very much a hand fit. I have to fit this part to this part, which affects the third part.
I think what you're seeing is the maturity level change. So maybe they've started with an AR-15. And AR-15s are billed as Legos for adults. They're like your Ricer car that you can take and put whatever you want to. So that age group has matured a little bit over the years.
Sure.
They've grown up. They're hitting their 30s, maybe mid-30s. They have money to spend.
We also seem to get the people walk into our shop and we tell them straight up, our minimum is about $950. You're not going to walk in and get a $600 AR from us. It's just not going to happen. Not because our parts are different per se, but we spend the time and we spend a little more as a business to get parts that Glenn and I can both stand behind and put a lifetime guarantee on our product.
Which is fine. Which is, that is totally fine. What I'm saying is that the group that we used to hang out with was maybe into this. I want to customize. I want to do this to my rifle. I want it to be mine, kind of like a car if you're into cars. So they've done this to their AR. Now they've figured out, this is my AR. I love it. I have it the exact way that I want it. Oh, bolt guns. Those are fun. A little bit different than the AR platform. But I've done the AR platform, so it's like the same thing, right?
Ryan gave you a virtual high five, by the way.
Yeah.
So Ryan's
Buy a bunch
got
of parts, put it fucking together, and that's what I do because that's what I've learned from the AR-15. I think it's just a maturing process that this age group is moving on, but it's not the same thing.
Ryan hit it on the head. He said they started with the AR-15, the Honda Civic of guns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now they're moving on to like their Subaru WRX.
Yeah, they're moving on to the AR-10 because you can still build an AR-10 in your house, but you're not going to put together a precision bolt rifle without a lathe. And
no, it's not going to happen without a lathe.
And that's why we offer those Magpul basic Remingtons, because for somebody who wants a bolt gun or wants to get into it, you're honestly, Glenn and I will be the first ones to tell you, budget your optics first. Because you're buying $1,000 bolt gun, you better expect to spend $1,000 on the optic if you really expect to do anything serious with it.
I mean, we put my rifle up on the wall every day, and probably once or twice a day, I get a question like, "Oh, that's a really cool gun. What does that cost?" And I have to go, "That's my personal rifle. If I were to build one for you, it's a $3,000 rifle
all day long, not including the optic."
And they go, "Oh, really?" And then I say, "Not including the optic," and they kind of go,
"Oh my god,
oh shit!"
It's like it's another level of game.
People expect to get into the bolt gun for the $400 Dick's Special.
But I think it's the same thing that you experience, and I know cars. Like, cars are very familiar to me. You take a Honda Civic, you're like, I'm putting this much horsepower, I've got this much torque down. Now they're like, oh, I've got a job, I'm in my 30s, I'm making some money, I'm gonna get a BMW. what the fuck do you mean a brakes and wheels cost, thousands of dollars?
Well, you look at my situation. I decided to buy that BMW. You guys have seen it on my Instagram and my Facebook. I bought it cheap. My opinion, cheap. I paid $16,000 for it.
It's a nice car.
That car was a $50,000 car.
The
brand
guy
new.
that had it before you took very good care of it.
I lucked out. I got a great deal on what I bought. It was an $18,000 to $20,000 car all day long. However,
I need more of that alcohol.
you look at me and the stuff that I've been doing, and a brake job, and Glenn's been following along with me with it. It's like every little thing that would be $200 on Glenn's Jeep or something is
I
like
was asking what it would cost on my
$600.
Jeep.
Right. It's like $600 on my BMW. Not because it's any different. We call it the BMW tax. It's the maybe the parts are better engineered, or maybe they're made differently, or maybe it's just because they think everybody who buys a BMW fucking has money.
I know people who have gotten rid of their BMWs for that reason.
Because of the maintenance costs.
So
So
expensive.
with Audi.
Audi's just as bad, if not worse.
But is it super expensive to maintain a bolt gun? It's a pretty simple piece of machinery, is it not?
What kind of maintenance is there after the fact?
It's not. There's not a lot of. It's not expensive to maintain, but I will say that because, as we all know, the AR-15 is the most popular rifle in the United States right now. The primary training and knowledge base is all based on that. People don't know how to maintain a bolt gun anymore. Literally don't understand what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to do it, or even where to go to get that information anymore.
Same thing with a more expensive
Do you
car.
Do you think, to keep it focused on guns, do you think that F-class has faltered compared to 3-gun? And maybe Ryan can poke his head in the gun channels about this, but do you think the amount of people that see how cool it is to become a 3-gunner versus it is a precision rifle shooter makes a big difference on what they're focusing on?
Yeah, it's F-class faltered just like a lot of the shooting, like bullseye and silhouette targeting, where they never attracted younger shooters into it, so they aged themselves out.
Right.
All the younger guys went into 3-gun, although we do have PRS now, Precision Rifle Series.
Ryan, you are on Gun Channel.
Right, it's ridiculous.
So luckily we have the PRS, the Precision Rifle Series, which is keeping that knowledge base for bolt guns alive and promoting people actually getting into the bolt guns.
We got there's a pretty big Sniper's Hide is definitely attracting people, but Sniper's Hide is just like ARFCOM sometimes. Yeah.
Well, for probably up until the last 10 years, bolt guns were kind of relegated to prone shooting, long range, little tiny groups. But PRS has kind of brought it out of that to more of an action type shooting distance, but shooting fast, shooting moving targets, shooting from odd positions, that kind of stuff, to make it more exciting, because bolt guns kind of got relegated to this boring, static, 1,000-yard line stuff.
Didn't you shoot a bolt gun 3-gun match once and piss a guy off because you weren't being serious?
That was awesome. Our local specialist got so mad at Glenn because Glenn almost beat him in a fucking bolt gun.
Love that.
That was great. I think I ran that course with Glenn's bolt gun.
Yeah, because I ran it like 2 or 3 times, and you were like, "That looks like fun." So I was like, "Run it!"
Yeah, it was.
And
It was great.
And he got pissed because I wasn't taking it serious enough, and it's like, I just beat like 4 guys that were running with ARs. So
yeah, I honestly, I probably
had more fun doing it.
running Glenn's bolt gun than I did running an AR.
That's pretty
It
cool.
it felt so World War II-ish.
But yeah, it kind of goes back to my whole like.
Glenn
the
says
guns
that you need to watch Inglourious Bastards.
Okay.
It's on Netflix, I think.
I
We're
love
watching
it.
the originals.
We are watching
Put
it.
in the one-upper. You sure
But-
are.
But Glenn says I need to watch What Inglourious Bastards.
After I'm done with the originals.
Okay.
Yeah, it was at Ontario.
It was.
Yeah, but yeah, it was just a little. I think it was probably like 20 targets phase, and I think the only concession they gave me was I was shooting 308. Everybody else was shooting 5.56. So I only had to do 1 hit on target versus 2.
That means nothing, though.
What does that
It
mean?
literally means nothing. It's one hole still.
Yeah, it's one hole that's much larger. But yeah, no, I had fun running it with a bolt gun. I have more bolt guns than I have gas guns. I've got guns that would fit the same niche as an AR. I've got guns that do long range. So,
well, we have a pretty good arsenal right now, and
Fuck that place.
I feel comfortable enough to, Glenn and Lee are family at this point. So if any guns that are shop guns are just as much Glenn and Lee as they are ours, if shit were to hit the fan. So I think collectively we have a pretty good collection. And as much as I hate getting rid of the 50, it is for sale. And I would love to turn it into a Harley or a deuce and a half or something, but we just don't shoot it enough. You know what I mean? None of us take the 50 out and shoot it.
I've never shot it.
I still maintain we get a motorcycle with a sidecar with a machine gun on it.
Can I just point out that shit
Who's driving and who's sitting?
Action 22.
You're driving and Oscar's riding.
Mike should
what are you gonna
definitely
be?
drive.
We gotta get Oscar goggles.
Yeah. If we need a getaway car for the end of the world, I should drive.
You should definitely drive. I mean, there won't be phone usage, so he is good to go.
Right. So I want to.
Mike is definitely your driver.
But I could get us to Arizona in 24 hours.
He's also a very good navigator because he does not throw up while reading in the passenger
I don't.
seat.
So I could do that also. But if we had to do evasive, like defensive driving shit, and I had to fucking plow some zombies or plow some pregnant chicks,
As long as the phones don't work,
right.
he is good to go.
Greg wants to know how much your 50 is, Mike.
Greg, you've been in the shop. It's fucking $7,500. You can't afford it. I mean, well, if you want to. You can't. More than you can afford, pal. Desert Tactical. All right, I'm late. We finished this bottle.
I see that. It's mostly in your glass right now.
Yeah. Do you want to go get another bottle?
No.
Oh.
You have to go to work tomorrow. I have to also function to
One
some
of us has
capacity.
to be
Can you see that? Both of them do like the maybe like.
No, we'll be there.
We'll be there. Functionality is like we can figure out the cash register. That's all that counts.
It does the math for us.
I have to
Right.
run away.
Literally does it for us. So.
You buy this.
All right, before Glenn finishes his bottle, let's do bust a gun myth. 45 versus 9. Girls
What's
present.
the
I'm not
myth?
picking.
What's the myth?
Which is better? 45.
Girls present.
Well, as a person who sold guns in a big box gun store,
It's a person of no color.
Which is better?
literally no color, as white as you could be.
Which is better, Erica? 9 or 45?
I don't fucking know. Okay. Apparently.
I always found that our customers treat 45 like they would like
The one that hits the
Wides.
person, that one's better.
What?
Does that make sense? Like they walk in all big ball, like I want to see.
Stopping power, bitches.
So, so Ryan and Eric hit it on the head. Stopping power is a great thing. Everybody talks about it. 45 knocks down elephants, quote unquote. But it's all about shot placement. If you can't hit what you're shooting at, it doesn't matter. Also, 9mm generally has more rounds. And the biggest thing is all handguns are really, really terrible at killing people. If you think about it, like how many gunshot victims do you see on the news that shot 3 times and they went to the hospital and were fine?
Yeah.
Handguns are not good. Handguns exist because rifles are too big to conceal.
Truth.
So handgun rounds are a compromise. They are made to be smaller so that they are concealable. Also, almost all handgun ammunition is made to perform to the FBI ballistic standards. 9 to 14 inches of penetration, retaining 90% of their weight. Which means that whether you're shooting 380, 9mm, 40, 45, 10mm, 357 SIG, I don't care what it is, they're going to penetrate 9 to 14 inches and they're going to expand, and they're going to stop, which means that almost all handgun rounds act the same way. The difference between 45 and 9mm is so small that the advantages of having more rounds in your magazine, having a more controllable, smaller firearm, outweighs any small advantage. And I know I'm going to probably set the internet on fire by saying that 9mm is better than 45.
Do it.
No, you're not setting the internet on fire. This is a thing. You have 17 plus 1 of fucking 9 to put into that dude's face.
Now, yeah.
As
This
long
is
as you
almost
actually put it into his face.
yeah.
Your follow-up shot placement is 11 billion times better.
So what you're saying is that instead of worrying about the round that you're shooting, you should actually go to the range and make sure that your placement on target is there.
Absolutely. It's and this is all talking about hollow point aiming.
Wait, no, stop right now. Because this was a huge fucking fight between you and me when I was getting a pistol and you were like, you don't want a fucking crappy round. You want to make sure you got a good round. So
This was the argument between 380 and 9, though.
So it's, all handgun ammo sucks. It is. It sucks.
All Ericas suck.
really?
But it's more important that you can hit what you're talking about. And I think it might have been James Yeager. I'm not sure exactly which instructor it was. Basically equated numbers of rounds in magazine to time in a fight. And if you don't have ammo, you're not fighting anymore. So a larger capacity is a big thing. Now that doesn't help us out in New York State where we're limited to 10 rounds.
Okay, what Greg said? What about over penetration? Honestly, 9 expands in a body cavity all day long.
Yeah, so over penetration is an issue. That's more of a issue of round selection versus caliber selection.
Mike Ann just messaged me, said more confirmed kills of Trace Deuce ACP than anything else.
Oh yeah, 32, 22. I mean, if you look at just to get out of the handgun, tons and tons of people think they need a 308 or 30-06 to kill deer. Those rounds are far more powerful than 30-30, which has probably put more deer on the ground than any caliber in existence.
In Woolrich and
Yes,
leather boots,
but it's not about. In all honesty, it's not about the caliber. It's about the shot placement and kind of what Erica said. I wanted to circle back to. The Firearm Blog did an article this week earlier.
actually, this is a really good infographic.
Where they published an infographic they found of should you spend your money on upgrades for your gun or should you spend your money on ammunition? And they basically compared the cost of a fully done up Glock with an Apex trigger and a Trijicon RMR and aftermarket match grade barrel and all this stuff, and it's $2,000 to build up your fancy super Glock over the cost of a stock Glock, which equates to 9,500 rounds of practice.
Wow.
And they basically said, which would you get better at? Shooting 9,500 rounds practicing or buying a really fancy $2,500 Glock?
Yeah,
Depends on if you're a collector versus.
And I hate to shout out my boy Rob Pincus here because he's stupid.
You hate to shout him out. You hate
Oh
it.
man, yeah. Just
No, I love Rob, but we have our qualms over the years. But
you can tell you're drunk.
regardless of the fact, Rob's got good information.
He does.
None of us can argue the fact that
Because he doesn't let you argue. But anyway,
he fine. But I will say this: if you the sobering fact is that what Rob says is absolutely true and applicable to a defensive situation. And why are you a collector or are you a defensive shooter?
Fine,
And
yes.
that goes a lot along the ways of, do you buy one gun and spend the rest of the money on training? Or do you buy 35 guns with all different calibers, and still you don't train.
And either one is fine.
Yeah, I don't care what you
But
what
just
you
know
do,
what you are.
but just know what you know what you are. But
if you like guns for the fact of they're a mechanical machine, and you like going to the range and popping off 20 rounds, and that's fine.
and
Have
I
guns.
and I do. I like collecting. I am more or less, I feel a collector every once in a while. I feel myself collecting as like, that's fucking cool. I want one of those. However, my defensive setup, all of my guns that could potentially be a defensive firearm are 9mm. Every single one. They share the same caliber, which means they share the same characteristics of recoil. They share the same ballistics. They share literally the same feel, with the exception of.
So if you were to go to pick up one, you could operate it the same way.
I should be able to pick up any 9 and be as accurate as I am with my daily carry. I should, if I pick up a 45, my first shot should be absolutely the same because I know the fundamentals. My follow-up shot, maybe not, because I'm not so used to fucking 45. Can you collaborate that, Glenn? Or
Absolutely. I
Corroborate.
as somebody who carries a 1911 every single day, I carry a 1911 and 9mm. I carry it 9mm for a couple reasons. A big giant steel frame gun with a 9mm is super easy to shoot, and I get 2 more rounds in the magazine.
You are spoiled though because you have a frame that can carry the world's largest handgun.
But what I'm saying is the 1911 is traditionally always 45. I opted for the 9mm because I think that having the 2 extra rounds is better than any small advantage I'd get out of a 45.
Glenn also carries a 1911 because he's Glenn.
There's a lot of people that carry 1911s.
Let me comment on this for a second. That normally I push against people who carry 1911, but the caveat is the 3-inch 1911s do fail, and they fail very often.
Absolutely.
If you're going to carry a 1911, you better carry a full-size fucking 1911 that's designed to be shot the way it was originally designed in 1911.
I can't conceal that.
That's the problem. Then you don't carry that.
I
I'm
can't
carrying
conceal anything.
You can't. And,
I can't conceal a friggin' knife.
You even have trouble concealing your 238,
Yeah.
which is a small 38 1911 style gun. I honestly think the Glock 42 may replace the common firearm for girls to carry over, because it's about the same size as your 238.
Okay.
What do you think, Glenn?
The 42, either the 42 or the 43. Only I say the 43 because it's a little bit more grip, so it's a little bit easier to shoot.
For dudes, maybe not for girls though. Maybe it doesn't matter.
That's why we're lucky to have all these choices. The same gun that I am comfortable shooting is not a gun that Leah's comfortable shooting.
We always sold a lot of what's the little Ruger, the LCP?
Probably
what a piece of shit!
That is a piece of
I'd throw
shit.
that at someone.
It's garbage. They're plastic, but we sold a lot of things that size.
I
the
love
Kimber Micros.
Right.
We sold a lot of those.
I can't believe the big box stores like Gander and Field and Stream sell the amount of Kimber Ultra carries and the amount of LCPs they do.
Piece of shit.
You know those LCPs
Fit in my hands.
Could you imagine if people got
those had?
Yeah, you don't work there.
I don't work there anymore, but we had a 70-person waiting list because we were selling them for like $275 or something
on the LCPs.
Yeah.
That is a scary firearm. It literally exploded out of my hands, and not because it actually exploded.
No,
but like it jumped.
It
like
feels
fucking jumped.
same with me, and I got big hands. It felt like it was jumping out of my hands.
Yeah,
I have more purchase and more control over my Glock 43 than I do out of the LCP. That's why I sold it.
I don't want a plastic frame.
No.
I can't control that.
You love your 238.
I do.
I honestly think the 938 would be that sweet spot for you.
They didn't have that out though.
They didn't. You need to come handle it at the shop. I think you would love it. Glenn, what do you think recoil 238 versus 938?
Personally, I fired both. Recoil is very similar, but I had a hard time holding on to the 238 because of the smaller grip. But
Is
that's
With
Is it
the
that much
extended
smaller?
mag.
it's just enough smaller that I can't get enough finger on it to hold it, and it's probably because my hands are large.
Yeah.
Yes.
You shoot my Glock 43 because I'd like to have your opinion on that also.
Especially with your little grip extensions.
With the grip extensions and all the modifications I did, I'd like to see what you think of it. Because like I had to do it on the phone today. That was I had him on the phone for like 15 minutes. He was like he needed a carry gun.
Okay.
He was looking for the shield. I told him I had the shield in the Shield Performance Center in 9. I told him I've had 43s and I personally carry a 43, but I told him I was like, look, I've got probably if you wanted to replicate my 43, I have over $1,000 in my 43 making it the way I want it. I was like, there's a lot of money into it. And I'm trying to tell this guy, like, if I had to do it all over again, I probably would buy that Shield Performance Center.
Really?
Oh yeah.
It's got a few things done to it that are out of the factory, ready to go. Ported barrel, light and slide, upgraded sear. I think I would still put an Apex kit in it because Apex makes it just feel better.
Yeah.
But,
are a big upgrade.
but it is what it is. You know what I mean? So, I think that's honestly guys or girls that come in looking for a small concealable firearm. I gear them towards either the Shield or the 43, or the 238, 938. Now, why? Because you can conceal those, and you could also buy the full size version that feels just like it.
Mm-hmm.
You carry a 938 or 238, buy yourself a full size 1911 to shoot at the range. You carry a Shield, buy yourself a full size M&P to shoot at the range. You carry a 43, buy yourself a Glock 19 or a Glock 17 to shoot at the range.
Why not shoot the one that you bought?
You could. However, you use a little bit full size to really work on the fundamentals.
But anything that I've ever learned is that if you're talking about it like a performance, okay, you should practice the same way you perform.
Totally.
So shouldn't you have the same firearm that you're practicing with that you're actually gonna fucking perform with?
Totally.
Absolutely.
I agree.
So what if it doesn't hold so much? You're gonna have to deal with that if you're actually using it in a stressful situation.
So are you a collector or are you a shooter? Or are you a defensive shooter? Why do you carry? Why
Defensive.
do you own firearms?
Defensive
You're
for
right.
me.
So then you own one.
Yeah.
You own
I do.
You own your 238, and that's what you should take out shooting all the time.
Yes.
Or if you shoot a 938, and if you like it, that's what you switch to and sell the 238.
Yeah, and I understand that. Yes, that's fine. And during a class, I understand that some instructors are going to be pissed at me.
They may.
Because I'm loading constantly.
Yeah.
But that's my own problem that I have to deal with. And it's something that I'm going to have to deal with if I'm actually
I actually like the
having to use it.
instructors that recognize the fact that guys show up in their sweatpants. You get guys that show up in fucking the 511 catalog, and Glenn knows exactly who I'm talking about because.
Wait, you don't sell 511 pants on a 54 30-inch?
Well,
I don't understand.
The same guy that got pissed off at Glenn for shooting his bolt gun at the 3-gun competition showed up to a defensive class with literally head to toe 511 gear.
Who wears that out?
Nobody. I have more respect for the dude that shows up in his fucking pajamas with a gun.
Yeah, because you might be getting out of bed.
You might be pulling out of bed, pulling your gun out of your safe, and needing to use it to defend yourself. Absolutely.
I don't know. I always look at it like whatever I might be going to the store in. Now, that could be something like maybe yoga pants, because maybe you're going right from the gym to like Weggies, okay? And if you are carrying, that's legit. But if you're not constantly wearing 511s, people wear 511s every day.
You're right. I'm a fan of people that train the way they live, and that's something that's a big hurdle for people to cross.
I think part of it is that they're going to a full day class So that's 8 hours of doing these exercises. And if you're in a situation like that, I hope you're not in it for 8 hours.
No, let's boil it down for 1 second. Let me take this back for 1 second. Any training is good. Don't misinterpret what we're saying. The fact that you shouldn't train because you don't. If you want to go show up in 511s, fine. Get out on the range. Use the gun you're carrying. I think that's the big point we're making. Am I right, Glenn? If you buy a gun, whether you have one gun or 50 guns, get out and train with it.
But you would train pulling your gun out of your holster, out of your Levi's. If you wear 511s every day, you need to practice pulling your gun out of your holster, out of those pants.
Yeah. I wear Levi's every day, so I would wear Levi's to a CCW course.
And that's what I wear. I wear my regular jeans.
Me too. Any course I've ever taken, I'm wearing my fucking skinny jeans.
It's not
appendix carry.
I don't have mag pouches. I put them in my pockets if I need to have mags on the line.
And that appears funny to people because you're not wearing like a tactical belt or a super cool crazy Carl vest.
I don't wear that to weddings. I would look like a psychopath.
You would.
You'd probably get kicked out.
And it doesn't match my bag.
No, but if the shit hit the fan while you were at Wegmans, you would pull the AR from the trunk or your handgun from your appendix carry, and you would have.
I make do.
You make do. You'd have an extra mag in your pocket, and that's it.
For me.
Right, that's where I carry my spare mags, front left pocket.
I'm not looking to engage anybody. I'm looking to get the fuck out of there because I probably have kids with me. I have 2 boys that I'm doing the mama bear thing with, and I'm like, let's get the fuck out. Yeah, I'm not going to be a hero. I'm going to be a hero to my boys.
But even for you, special, you should train maybe with me or with somebody where you practice drawing a gun, shooting one-handed while your other hand is on somebody.
Yeah.
Because you're most likely going to be holding on to fucking Oedipus or somebody. You of all people should practice shooting one-handed.
Yeah.
Because if you look at not statistics, but if you look at what is probable is you're going to have your hand on something else.
Yeah.
So you should be practicing one-handed shooting.
That is probably correct.
It's just this is great discussion. I think we got a great group of people on gun channels, gunchannels.com/crash and burn. I'm going to try and move this along a little because Mike Ann let me know that we're over 2 hours already.
Oh, shit.
So,
whoops.
We talked a little about 45 versus 9. It could go on forever.
Oh yeah, it has gone on forever. It's gone on since 1920.
So we'll let's try and touch base on it with either next week or the week after that. Maybe Glenn, you and I, when we're at the shop, we can talk a little about and show some of the guns we have and the options.
Oh, that would be cool.
But yeah, so Glenn, I'm gonna throw it over to you for 1 second. I'd like you to talk about the Safe Act lawsuit that you and I found out about today.
So this completely missed my radar. I don't know how I missed this. It makes sense, but I don't know how I missed it. But New York State Rifle and Pistol Association, NYSERPA, had a big lawsuit against the Safe Act. They were challenging a couple different points of it.
Very well known.
Yes, it made it all the way to the Second Circuit, and we all know the Second Circuit upheld New York State's gun law, saying that it was not breaking the law or is not breaking the Constitution. And I assumed, and a lot of people assumed, because that's what they said they were going to do, was they were going to appeal to the Supreme Court, along with a few other states.
Let me interject for 1 second. We all supported that. We were all like, okay, yeah, we get it. You lost. You're going for the Supreme Court. Go ahead.
So, as we all know, a few months ago, Anthony Scalia died, who was like our champion on the Supreme Court. He was like our go-to guy for gun rights. He passed away. And right now, the Supreme Court looks to be basically a 4-4 split on gun rights. NYSERPA, and I can't really blame them, took the opinion that they're not going to appeal to the Supreme Court because they're afraid they're going to go and it's going to be a split-hung court and they're not going to win, which makes it harder for them to come back later with another case. So actually, I put a link to the article in our documents, but it was like 2-3 months ago that they made this call, and I just completely missed my my radar. And I don't know how I missed it, but they're not going to appeal. And I think a lot of other groups have kind of taken the same wait and see approach to see who gets into the Supreme Court after the election, because it's going to be a really big deal which president we get, and therefore which Supreme Court nominees we get.
I understand that that's what they do, but this looks like we're a weak bunch of fucking faggots.
No, I totally look.
Faggots like gay people. I mean, like faggots like we're a fucking bunch of pussies. We look awful for this.
Yeah, I totally am kind of upset. I don't want to say upset, like disappointed that they decided to not keep fighting. But at the same time, I understand their logic behind not fighting farther. It's we're all kind of in a holding pattern right now. There's been, I think, 3 or 4 cases right now that have been 4-4, which basically means nothing. We're kind of waiting till this election is over. This election's a big deal. As much as people hate either side, it's a really big deal.
The election's over. We know who's going to win.
Unfortunately.
I mean, I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer, but let's be realistic. We know who's going to win. Okay, it's not going to be.
She's up fucking 10 points as of today.
She's going to win. Just
I don't
fucking face it.
Literally,
it's going to happen. Whether it's right, it's not right, it's fixed, it's not fixed. She's
who
going
cares?
to
Literally, people have said they do not care about what's going on with her. They're going to vote for her.
Yes,
anyways.
because in their mind, it's better to maybe they're not really sure if she did this or not, to be a liar and a cheater and she's an awful human being. Okay, I would vote for the Sith Lord over her. Okay,
totally.
But it's better to be that than maybe a racist.
But he's not even really a racist.
No, I'm
it's
not
just
saying
what
that he
people's
is.
calling him out on.
But something happened back in the 70s where he marked some people, and didn't everybody? This was
Hillary Clinton used to be a Goldwater girl.
70s. What the fuck did she do back in the 70s? And
she was part of Watergate in the 70s.
She didn't want to allow gay people to marry. She was
even better than that. She campaigned for Goldwater, who wanted to resegregate the South.
I'm gonna throw this to Glenn real quick. Just the tip asked, do you guys have any thoughts on Johnson? Now, I like the fact that he's Libertarian Party, but he came out and him and his running mate are not really pro Second
But do you
Amendment.
play the game now?
Right.
Like I said to you the other night, do you play the game? I'm not voting for Johnson. I'm voting for the fact that I would maybe like to have them be able to speak and get recognition. I'm not voting for him.
You're not voting for specifically Johnson. You want to vote for the
Next
Libertarian
term,
Party.
I want to see them be able to debate and get some freaking press and have their names out there. That's what I'm voting for.
The thing with Johnson, and I know you had your reservations about him not being super pro Second Amendment.
Sure.
The thing with Johnson, and it's kind of a hard thing to people to wrap their heads around, because both the Republicans and both Democrats apply their same belief system at the state and the federal level. Republicans believe one thing; they think that the states and the feds should do the same thing. Same with the Democrats. Libertarians, so Johnson believes, we'll say X. He believes that this should be done this way. But that doesn't necessarily mean he thinks the federal government should do it. From everything I've read and looking over his record and everything, he's not super pro Second Amendment, but he does not believe the federal government should have any say in how the Second Amendment is regulated.
Right.
And I agree with that. It should be on a per state basis. If fucking Cuomo wants to be like that, our right, our choice is to move to fucking Arizona.
That we need to move to a state that's
We move to a state that
more
better
like-minded ours.
fits our
Us.
us.
right.
And that's the advantage of the state-based system. So even though, so that's the thing you kind of have to I guess swallow with the Libertarian Party is, yes, Johnson's personal beliefs might not fit exactly what you think, but as a libertarian, he's not going to force those personal beliefs on the whole country.
Yes.
And it shouldn't
right.
be. It
And
shouldn't be a
be.
federal decision.
No, it should be per state.
What was the thing that Texas initiated, Glenn? They wanted to initiate the fact that they were going to challenge. Nothing came of it, or as of yet, but they wanted to challenge the fact that states should have power over it, and it was going to. It was.
Are you talking about the challenging of the regulation of firearms under the Interstate Commerce Clause?
I think it was, maybe it was to do with that, but it was the fact that they were challenging the Constitution, saying basically like we need enough states to.
Texas has been kind of floating the idea of doing another constitutional convention.
That's it. Yep.
No, Oregon. Was it Oregon or Washington? It was either Oregon or Washington. I can't remember. A few years ago, actually passed a law that said if a firearm was manufactured inside the state, did not leave the state, it did not enter interstate commerce. Therefore, the ATF had no regulation over it. And they actually hired a guy to manufacture 222 rifles, trying to bait the ATF into an arrest so they could sue. The ATF never took the bait because they knew they'd lose the lawsuit.
You know, and it's sort of fucked up, the fact that, first, I'll make the comment that Washington and Seattle, or Washington and Oregon, are predominantly rural yet hipster. They're northwestern. You would think they would follow the views of New York and stuff, but the fact that New York City drives New York, so we the rest of New York follows the views of New York City. That sucks within our state, period. The fact that it really should be, legislation should be state-based. I should be able to pick up and say, I don't like New York. I don't like the laws they're passing. I don't like the people. I don't like the fact that Cuomo says if you're a Republican, you don't belong here.
Yeah,
I don't like that. I want to pick up and move to Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, whatever. We should be able to pick up, and it should be easy for us to say, fuck you, New York.
We out.
We're out.
That's the check on a state going too far left or right. I mean, you have the people have the ability. If Texas were to go way off the deep end of the right, people in Texas could say, "Screw this, I'm moving to New York," and vice versa. So that's the check when you have a state-based system. Problem is, we're having this shift farther and farther ever since World War II to a federal-based system where one rule rules them all, and you can't.
Shouldn't we bring the power back to the states?
There's been a movement.
Yes, but that's not how you create a dictator.
No, but
you create a dictator by inducing poverty, by making the federal government help everybody, and making the people be dependent on that system. Okay, have we all forgotten all of this? Has no one read Animal Farm? Did nobody read Animal Farm in fucking high school?
No, they stopped doing that.
It's an amazing book.
What's the book by George Orwell?
451.
No,
That was
1984.
1984. Did
All three
nobody
of those
read that we're literally following 1984 T for T. Where, this is, I'm not saying this has been planned out, but there's a formula for what's happening right now.
There is a legit formula on how to create this type of what's happened before. We've gone through
Rules for Radicals. They published it in the 20s.
Yeah, but take a look at it. You and I, we don't fit the millennials. You and I, Erica, are not millennials. Glenn and Leah are
You're at the very leading edge of it.
We are
millennials.
Technically, Glenn and Leah are in the millennials. Maybe even just slightly younger than Glenn and Leah are actual millennials. look at the way they think. They're wrapped up in Facebook, Twitter. Don't get me wrong, I love social media, but they're wrapped up in the fact that everything's provided for them.
Yes.
Everything. And not when I say everything, I don't mean money, security, life, the DMV, like you name it. Their lives are dictated by the federal government, not by the state, and that's where we're in a shitty situation. And that's the scariest thought, is the fact that where do people like us who are on the cusp of the millennials, how do we show the people that are a few years younger than us that like you're fucking blinded to what's actually going on?
Unfortunately, and I've said this over and over again, and I guess it's maybe why my beliefs with the Republican Party are starting to waver. I am a registered Republican. I am conservative, financially, socially, I'm not.
Totally.
Okay. That's the dividing line. All they see is you're a racist.
Totally. But we're not.
You're a homophobe.
But we're not. And the fact that is we align with this libertarian party more than anything. However, the leaders aren't exactly what we feel also. The fact that I guarantee you there are more of people like us. I look at Glenn, I look at Leah, I look at you, I look at me. I look at half of our followers that are like, we want guns. I don't give a fuck about gay marriage. Whatever you want to do, cool. Excuse me. The fact is, we are socially liberal, but a lot of us are business owners. Mm-hmm. Eric, Fox 10 Tactical, business owner. James, 1776, business owner. We're very much socially conservative because we're like,
it's my money. I fucking worked for it.
Well, no, socially conservative.
Oh, socially conservative?
We're like, what the fuck ever. If you want to be gay, whatever. You know, I got the ho-ho oil. I'll give it a try, but if I don't like it, cool, don't push it on me.
Well, I think that's the whole thing. Don't push it on me. I do what I want to do.
Totally. I'm Catholic.
I do what I want.
I don't push Catholicism on anybody.
Catholicism.
I don't push that on anybody, though. I was brought up. But gays are bad in Catholic, but if butt sex was good, I'd try it.
Okay. All right.
So let me
note.
No. Let me keep going.
Oh, good.
We are politically aligned. All of us are politically aligned conservatively. We're pro 2A. We want less big government, more state government. We want to be able to say the fact that, all right, I don't like New York. Do what you want, New York. You got these New York City people that are fucking out of their mind. We're going to Arizona, where guns are cool, butt sex is probably cool, and we like shooting.
Guns and butt sex.
Guns and butt sex. That's what you guys got in Arizona. According to Mike.
I don't care what you do. Do you know what I mean? Where's the state where I can go and you just don't fucking interfere with my life?
I don't think they have that.
Fucking Guam.
That's a country.
Oh no, Guam's awful.
Glenn says Guam's awful.
No, you don't want to go there.
It's the entire thing's a naval base.
Right. So seriously, where do we go?
Utah?
Oh my God, to sleep.
To sleep, yeah, pretty much.
No, seriously, where do we go?
I don't know. With what's happening next, I don't know.
Mike Ann says he needs to go to bed.
See, I think Mike needs to go to bed.
Mike Ann needs to go to bed.
Mike
Santola needs
to go to bed.
Mike Santola is fucking on a roll.
Mike Santola is done.
No, I'm not done with the template.
Oh God.
Tech. All right, tech.
Oh my God.
No.
What?
I really love our robot vacuum. If you're looking for a robot vacuum, get a Neato. Text done. Go. Next thing.
But I wanted to talk about the Windows update.
You can't talk about shit right now.
You're right. I'm pretty drunk.
Yeah. Next.
All right. Remind me, guys, to talk about the Windows update.
Okay.
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 Mike Gann says go to bed.
Yeah. See?
Hey, King of Tangents, leave a topic for next week. Mike, I need to go to bed.
See?
Thanks, Mike Gann, X8 Tactical.
You are aware that's me, dude.
That was Leah.
No.
Yeah, that was Leah.
No.
Yeah. Mike, this is just me, you, Glenn, and Erica.
No.
Yeah.
You're right there. See?
Oh, yeah, it is. That's Leah saying that.
All right. Enough talking. Erica, what grinds your gears?
You know what fucking grinds my gears?
Let me load up your soundbite.
Oh God, another 5 minutes. Okay. Oh my God.
Mike Gann is yelling at me now because I thought it was Mike Gann. God damn it. I love all you guys. All right, Roger, here we go.
All right.
You know what really grinds my gears?
What grinds your gears this week, Erica?
You know what really grinds my gears?
The way they fucking pave roads in Webster.
Oh my God.
You know what they do? Okay,
What?
instead
Stone.
they fucking put oil down. Oil. They spray the road with oil, and then they take loose rock and they throw it on the road. And they do that so then when the cars drive over it, it packs it down. But you know what that does to my fucking car? Ruins it.
Ruined?
Yeah. Okay. Now I got fucking paint chips all over the goddamn
you know what really
place.
grinds my gears?
Yeah. Way to go, Webster. You cheap bastards. Okay.
That's like how you do it in like the country. Webster's a little bit more developed than that.
Apparently not. Apparently we're still trying to hold on to the roots that Webster has come from. And we just throw fucking rocks on the roads and we let the cars drive over them to pave the road. Yep. So I live in the sticks. And
we're not in the sticks though. Webster's somewhat developed now.
We're kind of
Hobby Lobby.
Somewhat developed. You have like 2 high schools.
We have 2 high schools. We got 2 middle schools. Oh,
2
fucking
middle
no.
schools and 2 elementary. They split it by the highway.
We've got so many fucking elementary schools. That's not even funny. I don't know how many. We've got at least 3 or 4. I don't know. But we don't have any dirt roads.
But back to your grinds my gears. Why do they just lay down stone?
Because they're cheap.
Is
That's
that
the thing they do on like country roads?
that's stupid?
Leah's parents live
You know what really grinds my gears?
And it should grind your gears if you ever drive behind Mike in his BMW.
Here, I go 10.
Literally 10.
10.
Oh, yeah.
Has anybody ever driven 10? I can't even
It's
tell
slower
you.
than 15.
Yes. Yeah. It's so slow. So slow. And he's got these huge fucking tires, and they kick
Wait.
the rocks.
I want to hear the story.
at your
Leah
car.
just posted in Gun Channels. A road in Prescott Valley collapsed under Leah's Jeep and tore out most of the undercarriage.
What?
Come on. I want to hear the story.
Actually, this one was Glenn's fault. Not the road. It was Glenn's fault.
Glenn's fault.
Eric, if you knew there were flash flood warnings somewhere near you in Arizona, would you drive over the road where they were having the warning?
No, there was no flash flood road where the road was underwater.
My friend told me that lives in Arizona that that's a stupid law.
Oh, there is a
stupid law.
stupid law.
Where does your friend live? Tucson, right?
Thank you.
Yes.
Tiguan?
No, that's my
Idiot.
car.
Oh, Tiguan, Arizona.
You know what really grinds my gears?
No, I drove on a dirt road, and there was like an 8-foot drainage ditch next to it, and the road went into the ditch, and so did the Jeep. There was a couple of water.
Jess says that's what kayaks are for, bitch. Get a kayak.
To drive down the road?
I don't know. Sidebar: kayaks are expensive.
They are?
Dirty Dan spent like $1,400 on a kayak.
Why would you do that?
Much on
For
a kayak.
kayaking,
That's a lot.
right?
Yeah. Like fish rod holders and stuff.
Didn't he spend a lot on a kayak, Glenn?
I want to say he spent like 14 or 16 on a kayak, but like
That was used.
Oh my god! Aren't
He got like a super, super fancy one.
The shit's floats. And that's it.
Is it plastic or is it like some kind of like
fiberglass?
Oh,
So.
got a fancy one.
Whoa. You leaving,
Yeah, Mike.
Eric?
Some people have things to do other than listen to you
Go to
talk.
fucking bed.
People really?
I need to go to bed.
All right,
Actually, him slur.
all right.
my
Oh
god!
shit! It's almost midnight.
Quarter to midnight.
All right. Let's wrap this shit up. Let me go through the thing. Tech corner.
Oh come on!
No.
No.
I'll save it. Anyways, if you haven't updated the latest Windows 10 update, and we'll talk about it next week or the week after. Grinds and gears. Blah blah blah. Upcoming
Say goodbye,
events.
Mike.
What are we doing this weekend? Nothing. Cool.
Wedding.
Great. Wedding. Great. Awesome. Drinking. More drinking. Make sure you guys follow us at Crash and Burn TV on Twitter, at Stuff on Facebook.
I got it. It's on Gun Channels.
Go on Gun Channels and see what Leah posted. At Mike Santola on Instagram. At Erica Santola.
Snapchat's dead.
At Leah Naprap. At Glenn, the Hipster Gunsmith. Follow us all on Snapchat. Fuck everything else. I like Snapchat lately.
It's dead.
Instagram killed it.
Took over.
Instagram took over Snapchat, but I still like Snapchat because you get points.
Oh God, you need to go to bed.
I do. Shut up, Leah.
That was perfect.
All right. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Thank you guys for listening. Have a drink with us. Look, I've finished the entire bottle.
Oh my god.
Bye, everybody.
We'll see you
Good
guys.
night.
We'll see you guys next time. Check our Facebooks and stuff for more good, funny shit.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Play.